sparked the administration from federalizing the National Guard under the statute you relied upon for the LA, Portland.
So while we kind of get started today, I also
Mr. Ditlevson, I want to know
have
how
a
you
hearing that
defend
is
the
playing in the
appointment
background.
in light of the repeated court ruling.
There's a lot happening
Also want to
today,
know whether
and
you
so
have ever
I'm not
raised
really sure that,
concerns with
how
the
much we're going to get to
about the
everything, but I'm going to
impact
work
the
on it.
admissions have
Good morning,
on
Melinda.
awareness,
How are you?
morale,
Good
and
morning.
retention,
Good morning,
or the
folks. Glad to
dangerous
see
message
you
that
all. Good morning,
presents to the
Sandy.
public.
Hey, Amy.
And let me turn
How
now
y'all
to the
doing?
situation in El
I know you can
Paso.
hear this
2 weeks
hearing
ago,
happening in the
Customs and
background.
Border
Good morning,
Patrol,
Sue.
under the supervision of the Department of
So
Defense,
for those that you all
used
that
a
don't know, hey
high-energy
Conchita, hey
laser to shoot
Melinda,
down suspected drones at the
hey
southwest
Daniel.
border near El
For those
Paso.
that don't know,
I understand
there is
the
a Senate
FAA
confirmation hearing
explicitly
going
warned
on
the
for
public
some
and used
folks that are
specifically
nominated
that
to be like
deploying
the
this weapon would
assistant
cause, in their words, quote,
the
"a
assistant
grave
acting
risk of
secretary of
fatality
defense,
or
right?
permanent
And the
injury
one
to
guy who's been
civilian
nominated
aircraft."
has been in that role
However,
for the
public
last year
reporting indicated
and is
that
being
you
questioned
confirmed to me in
about
our office
putting
tomorrow
military
that you
boots
told the FAA
on
that the
U.S.
public
soil
wouldn't receive
against
anyone.
citizens. And
After the
so I
incident in New
thought
York,
this was
communicated
an
intent,
important
the
thing
FAA
to
shut
play.
down the
So it's
airspace
playing in the
over El
background.
Paso,
Just give me a second and we'll kind of get
creating
everything
chaos and
started.
confusion.
Um,
I want to know which legal
this is
authorities you relied
this is
upon to
Senator
override
Jack
the
Reed who's
FAA's
speaking right
cynical
now.
review. And I ask
Good
that you
morning,
provide this committee with
Shawnee.
the legal authority and
Good
the
morning,
agreement you
Christine.
used
Good
to
morning,
transfer
folks.
this weapon to
I know
the
it's weird to come in and I'm already playing something,
Finally, Ms. Dixon, if confirmed, you
but
will
it just
oversee
started.
both
Good morning,
national
Auntie
security
Tinker.
policy for Canada,
Good morning,
Mexico,
Renee.
Central America, South
Yeah, Mo, I'm
America,
good. Good morning,
and the
Invisible String.
Caribbean.
I sound
As you
congested because I
know,
am.
Wicker and I have
Because I
repeatedly
am.
directed the
Good
department to
morning,
submit
Winn-Dixie.
basic information required by law to the
Yeah,
committee
I know.
regarding
I've
the
just got a
ongoing
lot of
bold
sinus
strike
stuff going
campaign in the
on, despite
Caribbean
taking
East
allergy
Pacific.
meds.
To
Yeah.
date, the department has failed to submit to Congress the execute
Good
orders
morning,
and
Yvette.
videos related to these operations.
I'm wondering
And
if
has refused
I
to
don't
take
know
up
that I want to
legal
play this
justifications
live. I was
and
listening to it as I was
intelligence
getting ready.
underpinning the strike.
In
order for
I
this
don't know if I
committee
want
to
to play
perform our
this live or if I just
constitutional
need
duty to provide
to
advice
go
and
back and
consent,
watch it later
our
and then
own
pick
Senate
out the
nominee
pieces. You know
is
what I mean?
imperative. We have access to relevant
Let me do that.
information.
Let me go back later, listen to it, and pick out the pieces. Okay, folks, if you are joining me anywhere other than TikTok, please make sure that you say hello in the chat because I don't get to see when you join unless you are joining me on TikTok. Those of you that are on Substack, whatever the reason is, the connection between Restream and Substack, I don't even get to see your chat, which I can't stand. I'm thinking about changing streaming services. It's just that StreamYard is like super expensive compared to Restream, and then Substack doesn't have the capability for me to be able to share documents and share videos with you. So it's like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. You know, do I see your chat but not be able to show you anything, or do I just, you know what I mean? So anyway, say good morning. Love to see you guys. Hey, Carla. Good morning, Witch. Hey, Sarah. What's up, Cam? So I've been listening. So I've been on the jam this morning. Good morning, Cam. Good morning, Colleen. Hey, Ashley. Good morning, Sandy, over there on the Book of Faces. Good morning, Letty. Glad to see everybody. So let me just, as you can see, I have a long list of things that I want to make sure that I touch on today. And there's a couple of things that aren't on that list that I still want to touch on today. The good news is it is Thursday, so I don't have a hard stop. Good morning, Timmy Ratliff. Good to see you as well. Hey, Barbara. What's up, M? Salam. You watched some of the Surgeon General confirmation yesterday. Yeah, we're going to talk about her crazy ass, just not yet. I hope that I'm going to get to talk about her this morning. I didn't mean to call her crazy ass. Although, let me just say this. The one thing that I find astounding. Yeah, Letty, that is a lie. Hey, Thomas Griffin. Good morning. I know I did. Although, good morning, Teeny Noel. So let me say this. So here's what I will say about the woman that they have nominated to be the Surgeon General, the highest doctor in the land. I find it absurd that she is being nominated and she doesn't have an active medical license and she dropped out of her residency program. I'm not sure how that qualifies you to be the highest doctor in the land. You know, I think that I would want the Surgeon General to have completed the residency and to have an active medical license. It just would be amazing. Yeah, I know, which is the point, right? Like we should have learned from RFK Jr. How was the last Surgeon General? Do you have complaints about the last Surgeon General? Because I don't. Do you have complaints? Like, do you have a specific complaint from the last Surgeon General that you want to talk about? Yeah, Allie Nicole. But you accepted a man that said he was a woman and could not yet define a woman. Well, so you do understand that from a medical perspective, right? From a medical perspective, discussing gender, which is a social construct, is not necessary, right? What doctors do understand is science and medicine and bodily autonomy and anatomy, and so that's what's important. Tina, don't engage with Zaza. There were no. They're going to go down the road of C-19 wasn't real, or the vaccinations were whatever. Just I can't. I'm not arguing. I have reached this place in my life where I am not going to argue science and medicine with people who have you been to medical school at all? Probably not. Yeah, I'm not. Kelbell, I'm aware Bill Gates has talked openly with his organization yesterday, and he apologized for his connections to Epstein. He discussed very openly about what they were. Bill Gates is not in office, so I'm not really concerned with Bill Gates. What I think is that if Bill Gates was involved with underage women or of age people that were trafficked, then he should be prosecuted like everybody else. That's my feeling about Bill Gates and anyone else that's connected to the files. That's my feeling. Hello, Raja. Yeah, I don't know why people think I give a damn about Bill Gates. Bro, I don't. Just saying. And here's the thing that people should know. You know so much on these topics. I do know a lot, and that's because I take time to actually look at facts and research things. That's why I do 100%, Zaza. Yeah, I do. All my love, Raja. Into Gelby, Raja. So yeah, good morning, Find Out. Good morning, Scotty. Glad to see everybody in here. Interesting to see the trolls already popping in this morning, talking about things that have nothing to do with the prompts on the screen. But we'll just kind of rock it out and go from there. How about that? Calbell, what's your point? Talking about who runs the World Economic Forum. Let me be clear about something, folks. I just want to be very, very, very clear about things. So you have to understand, no, Zaza, you have Dani derangement syndrome because you are the one in my live. Nowhere on my screen do you see the name Donald Trump, nor have I spoken about Donald Trump until you said Trump derangement syndrome. No, sweetie, you have DDS, Dani derangement syndrome. That's why y'all trolls pile in here every morning. Right? Let me be clear, folks. Anybody that is in the 1%, you would be hard pressed to not find some sort of connection with each other in some way, in some shape or form at all. Why? Because the money flows. It's a very incestuous network, right? 87% of nobody voted for Trump. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? No, 87% did not vote for Donald Trump. Do you do math? Maybe not. Good morning, Brad. Right. PYT. Exactly. Yeah. So so again, I'm not going to argue with people that can't do basic math. When 1.5% separates a presidential election, that's not losing by a lot. 1.5% is a very minimal thing when it comes to a presidential election. And the reality is that more people didn't vote at all than voted for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. 83 million people didn't vote at all. How about that? It's incredible, isn't it? It's just wild. Oh, Lord me. The lies people tell. And what would be really sad? Okay, so let me just tell you, it's funny if you're just like a troll that's just going around saying dumb shit, right? But if you're a real American citizen and you actually believe that, then it's no longer funny. It's actually quite sad. Because as a grown ass adult, you should really know better than that. Seriously, fact should be your friend. And if you consider yourself a patriot, you should really know better than that, because you would be concerned about the country. No, honey, I cuss when I'm happy. I cuss when I'm happy, when I'm sad, when I'm angry. I curse. Like, that's just it. Yeah, ask my mama. She can't stand it. I say fuck all the time. I can be happy as fuck and say it. Listen. And do you know what tickles me when people say something about me cursing? Y'all loved Bobby Knight. Bobby Knight cussed all the time on the sidelines, and y'all thought that was just fantastic. I'm not here for the double standard. So, and by the way, fuck is one of the very few words that can be used in all 8 parts of speech. Try it. It has a lot of meanings. So anyway, good morning, guys. So we do have a lot to talk about today. As you can see, ICE and immigration, Dilley detention. Do my children, my grown children do. My grandchildren do not. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how old you think I am, but my grown children do curse. My grandchildren do not. Yeah. So good morning, Maria. So anyway. All right. So listen. So we've got to talk about ICE and immigration. We've got to talk about Dilley Detention Center. No, they did not when they were young. So here's the thing, guys. I actually teach my children discipline and respect, right? So my children actually understand that they are children. When they were children, they understood they were children. It's just that simple. You know, good morning, Sandra. How are you? Okay, so we're going to talk about these things. We're also going to talk about Gaza and Palestine. I don't know why I have a typo right there, but I do. Palestine is not typed correctly. That's going to bother me. The other thing is we have to have a conversation about the talks that are happening between the U.S. and Iran and Israel, and then we have to have. We briefly touched on the U.S. Surgeon General nomination and the crazy wellness chick grifter that Trump has nominated. And then we're going to talk about the fact that Hillary Clinton is testifying today. Bill Clinton is testifying tomorrow. Those testimonies are happening behind closed doors. Good morning, Macon. I don't expect for all of those to, I don't expect for those testimonies to be made public immediately. I think they will oftentimes do it just like they did with Jack Smith's testimony. I think once Republicans hear what they have to say, then they will determine, thank you, Sandy, then they will determine what and if they're going to share it publicly, and then if they're going to have a public hearing after that. So that's kind of my take on it. Good morning, Marilyn. Yeah, that's why they're so thick this morning, Scotty. Yeah, so no, I think that's what some people think it stands for, Brad. I think for me, it doesn't stand for anything. It's just another word, right? Good morning, blessed and grateful. So yeah. So, well, that is what the House Oversight Committee would agree to. The House Oversight Committee would not agree to public testimony from the Clintons. Hillary wanted it public from the beginning. Hillary wanted to do it publicly from the beginning, and they have said no to that. And so, well, no. So I'll share with you why it's beneficial to the Republican members of Congress. So when they do it behind closed doors, right, they get a chance to see what information is going to come from those individuals. Good morning, Nance, right? And then that gives them an opportunity to develop their narrative around those issues if they do a public hearing after that. Okay. So that is one of the reasons why they like to do it that way. It's why they did Jack's that way, and that's why they would like to do it this way. Hillary said, stop playing around. Let's just do it in public right off the bat. So no, they can't, Tara. If it is done behind closed doors, they can't come out and tell everything that they said that was said in there. No, they can't. Yeah, so no, they cannot. Good morning, Georgia. Good to see you. Happy to see you guys rolling on in here. All right. So my sinuses are so jacked up right now that even the roof of my mouth is swollen. Holy geez. It started yesterday. It started yesterday, and gosh, it's a lot. Oh, thanks, Tara. Appreciate that. All right. So listen, today, one of the things that I want to do is I want to, when we talk about some of these things, I want to provide accurate information that may be a bit of a backstory that equips you for conversations moving forward. Okay. And so when we talk about ICE and immigration today, I'm going to cover some of the information that I covered yesterday and some of the things that I've covered previously, just to connect all the dots and to give people information that you may or may not know. So if you are in here right now and you were not with me yesterday, when I went over immigration and I talked about the differences between Title 8 and Title 42, when I talked about Joe Biden wanting to lift the Title 42 implementation and go back to Title 8. If you weren't here when I discussed all of that yesterday, can you put a 1 in the comments for me? Because that will be very helpful to me. Because this is information that I believe is really important, very critical, especially as we move closer to the midterms. Okay. Oh, love that. So guys, Sandy has put a super fan up here. So if you would like to become a super fan, you are welcome to grab that little box once the timer goes all the way down to 0. I got you, Shawnee. You were in and out. Gotcha. Let's take care of that. Boop, boop. Done. Appreciate you guys. All right. Okay. So Georgia, Brad, Macon, Maryland. Okay. Lots of people weren't. All right. So we're going to tie these first 2 topics together. And that is going to be talking about Dilley Detention Center and talking about ICE/immigration, which, by the way, if you did not hear testimony, it's from the National Coalition of, don't make me lie, something about free speech and the First Amendment. They testified. There was a hearing that had Raskin, Jayapal. They were all in this hearing in the House, and it was right before the State of the Union. Milag, don't do that. Milag. So listen, do not, you can say IDF all day long. Don't mention anyone's religion. Don't mention Jewish individuals in my chat. Okay. Let's don't do that. And I just want to be clear. It is not just ICE that has been trained by the IDF or anything like that. Our police departments in the United States of America have been, so now you have to get fucking blocked, bro. I don't do the anti-Semitism shit. Bye, bro. All right. So listen, For those of you who do not know, our police departments in the United States of America have been being trained by the Israeli forces for years now. If you don't know that, look it up. There are a ton of articles about it. Amnesty International has articles about it. They even list the police departments and the senior leadership from these police departments that have been being trained by Israeli forces for years. So if you don't know that, that's a thing. Okay. Yeah. I believe some of that is also in my link tree. All right. Yeah. Good morning, Chris. Okay. So yesterday I read a ProPublica article that was specifically about the children in Dilley. So Dilley, Texas is where there is a detention center where more than half of the people that are being held there are children. They are minors. And back in December, a ProPublica journalist, she kept requesting, trying to get access to visit with people that were in the detention center. And a spokesperson for ICE was like, "Yeah, I don't think you're going to get that." And then she talked to somebody at the Department of Homeland Security, and they were like, "No, you're probably not." And then somebody that she spoke to said, "Yeah, you're probably not going to get like an official okay, but if you just show up as a visitor, you might get in." So that's what she did. And so yesterday, when I was on, I read an extensive ProPublica article that she wrote, detailing her conversations with some of those children, their parents, the letters that the children wrote, the art that they drew, all of that. And I did that yesterday. I want to share this with you because something new has come up as a result of that very thing. As of this morning, ProPublica has published another article. And ever since ProPublica's publication that was titled Children of Dilley, good morning, Hudson's grandma, ICE has now come into the rooms in Dilley and they have taken art supplies. They have taken art that children drew. Some of them have lost access to their Gmail accounts. They have lost a lot of those things since ProPublica's article. Yeah. So it says seized art, eavesdropping guards. Parents describe a clampdown at Dilley's detention center as kids shared their stories. And so that has happened as a result of those things. So it's really wild and horrible, right? That's a thing. And so I just think that people ought to 24 online, I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, that is what has happened since then. And so guards have taken away crowns, colored pencil, and drawing paper during recent room searches at Dilley, according to Hinojosa and 3 other former detainees, along with lawyers and advocates that are in touch with families on the inside. Guards have even taken some of the artwork and things like that. So we know that we've seen some of the artwork where the children have drawn, their sad faces and say that they're so sad they want to go home. And so detainees have lost access to Gmail and other Google services in the library as they have stepped up searches and seizures and restrictions on communications, making it more difficult for them to contact their lawyers and their advocates. So yeah. Things that you can do, to be frank, are going to just be continued to contact your elected representatives. share the information. Yeah, it is very horrible. It's very horrible. And so I wanted to share that with you all because we just read their letters yesterday. Yeah, I don't know about the law in Kansas, Scotty, and if it's happened or not happened. I literally don't know. So I wanted to give you guys that update since we just covered it yesterday, right? Yeah, Nance. Good morning, happy girl. Good to see you. All right. So next, I want to also let you know this little tidbit before I go into everything. And this is not related, but it's the other article that I had pulled up from ProPublica that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So this is really crazy. Senator Rick Scott, who, by the way, I can't stand. I cannot stand Rick Scott. And he's in the right on this one. So Senator Rick Scott and Kirsten Gillibrand have sent a letter to Secretary Pete Hegseth asking about, get this, you guys, asking about the military's pharmaceutical supply and the fact that they are ordering their supplies from overseas. I just want to say that again. So ProPublica had done an in-depth investigation about the Department of Defense purchasing generic medication overseas for the military. And so as a result of ProPublica's reporting, Senator Rick Scott and Kirsten Gillibrand sent a letter over to Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, and he asked specifically about the military's supply and its reliance on foreign manufacturers. Yeah, you want to talk about national security? Imagine buying medication for soldiers from a foreign government. So, yeah. So before we dig all the way into immigration, I do want to give you this. So here's the letter to Pete Hegseth from Rick Scott and Kirsten Hildebrand. It says, the U.S. Senate Special Committee on Aging is examining how vulnerable pharmaceutical supply chains present a risk to public health and national security. The department is the primary agency responsible for the health, safety, and readiness of our service members. It plays an essential role in assuring access to life-saving medicines. Given this significant responsibility, we write to request information regarding efforts by the department, including the Defense Health Agency and the Defense Logistics Agencies, to identify and address existing supply chain vulnerabilities to bolster military readiness and national security. The United States relies extensively on the import of key starting materials, KSMs, active pharmaceutical ingredients, APIs, and finished dosage form generic drug products. With an estimated 91% of prescriptions filled as generic drugs each year in the U.S., it is clear that many Americans, including our active duty, reserve, veteran, retired service members, and their family members, rely on generic drugs to maintain health, control chronic diseases, or recover from illnesses. The letter goes on to say, quote, this underscores the importance of a secure generic drug supply chain. China and India, in particular, play a significant role in producing the KSMs and APIs crucial to domestic drug manufacturing and distribution. The U.S.'s limited operational oversight and control over foreign sourcing and manufacturing of these foundational materials represents a vulnerability in the supply chain, which, in the event of a crisis, may pose potential public health and national security risks. Recent reporting details how, in order to prevent and mitigate shortages, the FDA has granted exemptions for certain drugs or ingredients subject to import bans that were imposed on foreign factories found to operate under substandard manufacturing conditions. So let me say this again. Good morning, Perfection. So listen, the FDA granted exemptions on foreign factories where we had previously instituted bans. So we had banned certain foreign factories from supplying us certain drugs or ingredients because they were operating under substandard manufacturing conditions. The current FDA has lifted or made exemptions for some of those. These import bans were the result of a failure to comply with FDA standards, and exempting these drugs or facilities allows for substandard and potentially unsafe drugs to enter the U.S. market. These reports highlight that many of these exemptions are for factories in China and India and identify more than 150 drugs and ingredients that have received exemptions since 2013, by the way. While many factories ultimately make the necessary changes to be removed from the FDA's import alert list, these exemptions can pose a threat to drug safety for American consumers. Moreover, recent instability in geopolitics and global trade demonstrates an additional threat to the stability of our pharmaceutical supply chain, particularly the supply of KSMs, APIs, and generic drugs imported from manufacturing hubs as China and India. No, they didn't lower the standard for our military. What it is they made exemptions for certain factories in order to get certain materials or ingredients or to get certain specific drugs. And what's crazy, alaikum salam, Khalid. Good morning, Robin. So listen to what they're telling you. They are telling you that the tariff war that Trump has been engaging in, right, has elevated the instability of the market and made those vulnerabilities even more extensive, right? They go on to say, a recent trade dispute with China exemplifies this dynamic. Despite reaching a bilateral trade agreement on rare earth minerals in April of 2025, China imposed a new set of export restrictions on October 9th, demonstrating its willingness to use trade commodities as leverage against the U.S. This raises the unsettling possibility that China could similarly restrict exports of pharmaceutical products in future diplomatic or trade conflicts. Given that China is one of the world's largest suppliers of APIs and KSMs, any disruptions in the supply chain could have profound ramifications for the availability of medications in the U.S. and potentially jeopardize patient care and public health. We have been talking about this for a while because 90% of our it's like 90% of the KSMs and APIs for like our antibiotics come from China. As a direct purchaser of medications, the department can bolster our pharmaceutical supply chain security by prioritizing the acquisition of medications that are manufactured and source ingredients domestically. It is pertinent that, whenever possible, the department incorporates supply chain resiliency and national security considerations into purchasing decisions, as reliance on China for essential medications, particularly antibiotics, which is what I just said, poses an existential risk to the operational capacity of our military. Preferential purchasing of domestically manufactured medications will promote access to safe and high-quality drugs for our armed forces as they protect our country. The department can be a leader in addressing the national security issues posed by our nation's reliance on medicines and ingredients from China. Transparency measures for where our medications come from must accompany reshoring initiatives. Country of origin labeling for pharmaceuticals and APIs must be implemented to provide transparency to our purchasers, providers within the TRICARE system, such as physicians and pharmacists, and end users who rely on medications. Americans deserve to know where their medications come from. Given the critical role of the department in ensuring the health and readiness of our service members and their families, we request the following information by February 28th, 2026. 1. A briefing from the Department of Defense on its drug acquisition plans, including how many drugs purchased come from foreign sources or use APIs or KSMs from foreign entities, with each amount broken out by country. 2. Is the department currently purchasing or storing any drugs from manufacturers that the FDA has exempted from the import ban? How many of those drugs have no other manufacturer available? 3. If China were to stop exports of generic drugs, APIs, or KSMs to America or to other foreign companies that sell to America, how many days of drug inventory does the department have of various generic drugs before it would run out? Holy shit. Follow up to that. How would China stopping or limiting exports impact military readiness? To what extent is China stopping or limiting exports a national security risk? And what are the department's plans to address that risk? 4. Does the department purchase foreign-made generic drugs when there is a U.S. supplier available? At the very beginning of the letter, a KSM are key starting materials used to make the drug, and then the API is the active pharmaceutical ingredient. 5. Is the department buying American-made generic drugs from U.S. companies with APIs and KSMs that are not sourced from India or China? And if not, what is the department doing to ensure that they are buying American-made generic drugs just like the department buys American-made textiles? 6. What is the department doing to protect TRICARE beneficiaries? That would be my mom. From obtaining generic drugs that the FDA has exempted from an import ban? 7. Does the department look at manufacturing location and ingredient sourcing when purchasing a generic drug? Does the department look at manufacturing location and parts sourcing when purchasing uniforms, munitions, or steel? If so, why does the department treat generic drugs differently from any other item that might be needed for military readiness? 8. It is estimated that China controls a majority, I just told y'all this, of the antibiotic APIs and KSMs that the U.S. imports, making the United States dependent on China. And that's true. A, does the department view this as a national security risk? You should. B, does the department believe this is a military readiness issue? Yes. C, does the department have an estimate on what could happen if China blocked exports of KSMs or APIs of antibiotics? In 2022, I'm reading this on the Senate government website. In 2023, the U.S. was in a shortage of the cancer drug cisplatin. The FDA allowed the importation of cisplatin from the Chinese firm Qilu Pharmaceutical, even though the FDA never approved that firm or manufacturing facility for cisplatin. Did the department purchase those drugs? 10. Fiscal year 2026 NDAA implemented a requirement for pharmaceutical supply chain mapping for the department. How is the department fulfilling this requirement? 11. There have been accusations that Chinese pharmaceutical companies located in the Xinjiang region are using Uyghur labor in violation of the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act. What is the department doing to ensure that it is not purchasing generic pharmaceuticals that use APIs or KSMs sourced from the Xinjiang region? 12. How would country of origin labeling for pharmaceuticals and APIs facilitate the department's purchasing of domestically manufactured medications? 13. How would TRICARE implement transparent country of origin labeling that is accessible to providers, pharmacists, and service members? As chairman and ranking member of the U.S. Senate Special Committee on Aging, the health and safety of Americans is our top priority. We must work to identify and address existing supply chain vulnerabilities, including our nation's extreme reliance on foreign-made generic drugs. We appreciate your attention to this matter and stand ready to work with the department in securing the drug supply chain for generic essential medications to bolster military readiness and promote national security. Signed, the chairman, Rick Scott, and ranking member, Kirsten Gillibrand. Are y'all done freaking out yet? So let me just yes. I know all of y'all are freaking out. Okay, so let me say this, okay? If I were guessing, I don't believe that Pete Hegseth has the ability to answer those questions. I don't believe that they have put together a supply chain mapping program that they are required to do. I just don't believe that. Things that concern me about this. My concern is that they will use this to justify even a larger budget for the Department of Defense, saying that it costs more to manufacture those things here in the United States of America. The reality is, though, for some of those things, we can't get them here. We don't have them. And so that's part of my first concern. Rather than the government making these corporations comply and make things available for us. Like if these pharmaceutical companies, right, want contracts with the government, then they need to be able to give the government different pricing for these APIs and KSMs to make the generic medication that is necessary for our troops, our veterans, and their families. Period. That's just my opinion, right? Here's my thing. If Paramount and CBS can make special deals so that they can become flipping monopolies and big media companies, right? If the government has the ability to make those individuals comply with what they want in a situation where it's absolutely necessary for military readiness and the health and well-being of the people of this country, then we ought to be able to negotiate something with these pharmaceutical companies. The danger is that, good morning, Wawa. The danger is that they won't do that. They will instead say, this is a national security issue, and this is why the Department of Defense needs even more money than they already have when they haven't ever passed a freaking audit. Yeah, so Brad, I don't know the answer to that question. And I think once we so that information is supposed to be turned in by Saturday, which is the 28th. So I would imagine by Monday or Tuesday, we might see some sort of communication about it, some sort of whatever. But I just don't know. I don't have the answer to that question yet. Okay. So And this letter happened because ProPublica did an article last year that found that the FDA was allowing dozens of foreign drug makers in India and China to continue sending generic medication even after those factories were banned because of serious quality and safety control failures. Since 2013, the FDA has allowed more than 150 drugs or their ingredients into the United States from banned factories, including antibiotics, anti-seizure drugs, and chemotherapy treatments. Let me say that again. Since 2013, the United States has allowed, the FDA has allowed more than 150 drugs or their ingredients into the US from banned factories, including antibiotics, anti-seizure drugs, and chemotherapy treatments. And the agency said that they did it to prevent drug shortages, and that the factories were required to conduct extra quality testing with third-party oversight. I'm looking to see if I can find. Okay, so oh my God. Okay, I'm going to give you some of the medications. Are you ready? And the first one just makes me want to scream. Levothyroxine sodium tablet. Y'all know what that is? That's for thyroid. That's thyroid medication. Levothyroxine sodium tablet is a thyroid medication, and that's from Mylan Laboratories in India. Metformin hydrochloride, also from Mylan Laboratories in India. And they were exempted in 2024. Atropine injections. That's from Entos Pharmaceuticals in India. They were exempted in 2023. There's a lot. Okay, so do y'all know how many veterans I know that take this next medication? And if you know anybody, so do y'all know the generic for Wellbutrin? Do you know what it's called? It's called bupropion. Bupropion hydrochloride. That's the generic for Wellbutrin. Yeah, that's on this list. It was exempted in 2023. It was exempted in 2023. Cisplatin, also exempted in 2023. There's a lot on here. I'm just picking a few out. Letrozole, also on here. Methotrexate, also on here. Mitomycin, also on here. Yeah. 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 So, it doesn't have that one on there, Scotty. Yeah, Ash. So this list, and remember, these are going to be the generic names. Okay, so listen, hold on, y'all. Hold on. So listen. So this list is a list where ProPublica found that the FDA was allowing factories in India and China to ship us generic drugs from factories that had been previously banned because they were substandard. They had low quality. So the FDA had previously banned us getting anything from those facilities. And what we have found, what ProPublica found, is that since 2013, they have given exemptions in order to prevent supply chain shortages for over 150 drugs or the ingredients to make them. And I was just listing a few of them for you. And what they say is, oh, well, when we exempting them, we told them that they had to do like an extra quality check with some third party oversight. I don't believe that shit. Call me crazy, but I just don't. So the question now is, and what Senator Kelly is, what Senator Scott is saying is, listen, if you are bringing medications over here from China and India from factories that were previously banned, is that a national security risk? They don't say, Jody. They don't say who the third party oversight is. They don't say. I would say, yes, it is. And I would also say that listen, the VA gives out bupropion like that's their go-to. You're depressed, you got PTSD, you got whatever, here. It's just crazy. And the thing is this is where, so let me just, this for me is another example of the country being willing to put the American people at risk, even our military, right? In order for American corporations to make massive profits. That to me, this is another example of that. It will be, Nico. It's brand new for today. So basically, once I go over it, I add it to the link tree. Because the federal government could require corporations here to work with them for military personnel, for medications, for like, I don't know if y'all understand that if we keep fucking with China, they can do so much. Literally the vast majority of our antibiotics or the key ingredients to make them come from China. Good morning, Chef Ryan. And so that's why this information is so important. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget it, and I wanted to go over it with you guys. Well, so this is the thing, right? So when we talk about, we're going to slap 25% tariff on China, ching ching. It's not really wise. It's not a wise thing to do. You're welcome, Carla. And like, okay, let me just say this to you all. This is one of those things that impacts everybody in this country, right? Good morning, Hell on Wheels. And I don't understand why more people aren't talking about this. Why is this only in an article from ProPublica? Why isn't this on NPR? Why isn't this on AP News? Why isn't this on like MS? Why isn't everyone talking about this? Because I think that it matters. Tina, that's what he's asking for. She asked, is there any way for us to trace our meds back? The answer is no. And that's why they are saying that they want to have labeling, source labeling added to the medications. And you know, the first thing they're going to do is say, oh, well, that's going to cost for us to do. That's what they're going to say. I'm really concerned. And I'm concerned that so I don't know what all the tariffs are for whatever, but I would imagine yes, Jody. Um, I think I think that the spin will be that the DoD needs more money than they already have. And I don't think that that's the case. And I don't think that the DoD should get anything new because the DoD has never been able to pass an audit the first go around. They absolutely suck. The DoD and the Pentagon can't ever pass an audit. Ever. Good morning, Jen. So everybody should be concerned about it, you know? Um, and so right, Brad. And so this is what he said in the letter was, listen, do you not check where when you're buying uniforms from? Do you not check where you're buying like parts for equipment from? Of course you do. So why are you treating medication any different? And what we know is that pharmaceutical companies can absolutely do things cheaper than they do them. Good morning, guys. Right? They can. So this is something that absolutely has to be fixed. Let me pull up really quickly and look to see if I added the other stuff from yesterday. Because yesterday I had my VA appointment. So I did not. Okay, so I will add the entire article from Dilly from yesterday, along with the article today about Dilly. I will add both of those to the link tree today. And then I will also add this from ProPublica, along with the article that has the list of medications that they were able to identify. Okay. Because they're important and people should be concerned. People should be concerned and alarmed. Things that you can do about this. So when I put these in the link tree, things that you can do, and if it would be helpful, I've done this before. For those of you guys who are new to me, what I have done before is write like a template email. I have written a template email previously, and for people to be able to just use it and then write it and then send it off to your representatives along with your personal antidote, right? So if that would be helpful for people, I'm happy to do that for you. So I'm happy to write like a little template email, throw it in the link tree for you, and then you all can add like your personal story along with it. And that way I can include like the excerpt from the articles and so forth so that you have them already and it's just easily done. Because like I think that this is one of the things that that keeps people from participating, right? Oh, well, hell yeah, Boxer Mom, but this isn't even about that. This isn't even about that part, right? Yes, we do need to get rid of pharmacy benefit managers and all of that, but that goes on with a lot of things. So that's what I was going to say, Rachel. A lot of people feel like they don't write really well, or they're not sure how to make a letter sound, or whatever, right? And so it keeps people from not participating. It keeps people from participating when they might normally do something. You know what I mean? And so you do want to write something that is impactful and that is helpful. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to do that. We've done it before when it came to nominees, which we could also do for. I literally almost said it again, y'all. I almost said the crazy ass U.S. Surgeon, U.S. Attorney Surgeon General's nomination. Every time I go to talk about that woman, I almost say crazy ass every time. And it's not just that she's wild in the things that she believes, but it's also that we are nominating someone that doesn't even have an active medical license and dropped out of her residency program. Like, how in the absolute hell is that somebody that we think should be the biggest doctor, the most important doctor in the country? Right, just call her dropout. Just call her scrubs. Like, it's crazy. It's just, it is wild to me. So, it would be great if, like, it is sad to me that it's not surprising anymore. Like, we've gone so far that it's not surprising, right? I'm not surprised. We've got fucking RFK talking about sniffing toilet seats, and that's why he's not scared of germs. The secretary for the Health and Human Services did a video with Kid Rock and then jumped in an ice bath in blue jeans. How weird is that? Who gets in an ice bath in blue jeans? And since when does the secretary for the Department of Health and Human Services do a fucking infomercial? It really is crazy. No, Michelle. But you know what I mean? Like, and sometimes I don't like to think about it. Good morning, Lenny. Sometimes I just don't like to think about, can you imagine being the Health and Human Services director, like the equivalent of that position in another country? And you see that and go, what? It's crazy to me that the nominee to be the U.S. Surgeon General is an advocate for a whole raw milk. Raw milk. She's an advocate for drinking raw milk. What? It's just crazy. Really, Dax? You might need to do an update because there was another one. But it's absolutely like wild to me. And it is, Nini said, I'm going to pee my pants. It is embarrassing. And she's a mom. She was specifically asked whether or not she would tell moms that they should get the MMR, right? That's what she said. They asked her specifically, we have a measles outbreak in South Carolina. There's almost 1,000 people with measles, and that's true. Okay. We've had children that are unaliving from measles, and she was asked, would you tell moms, would you advocate for moms to get the MMR? And she said, I mean, well, okay, so I believe that vaccines save lives. And I believe that, parents should talk with their pediatricians, with their doctors, and decide what's best before they put anything in their bodies. And so I'm like, so you just can't say no? You can't say no? She doesn't have an active one, Rachel. Her medical her medical license is not active. She's just, I'm like, what is wrong? And there will be people that will love her just because Trump nominated her. And if you are one of those people that are going to defend her nomination simply because she was nominated by Donald Trump, first and foremost, you're not a patriot. First and foremost, you are not a patriot. You are now choosing a person and or a party over the country. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. There's just not. I don't care how big the flag is that's flying on the back of your truck. I don't care how much you put conservative, Christian, patriot, God, guns, and country on your social media profile. It doesn't fucking matter. If you are defending this foolishness, you are not that. What's up, Showtime? I'm just saying, you're not. I don't care what you think you are. I'm just saying. So, I don't know, Jody, because I don't think so. She dropped out of residency. She dropped out of residency. She did not finish her residency. And so now she's like a wellness little guru. And so she has affiliate links for people to use like different products and different things. Yes. It's wild to me. And yet y'all was mad because you were supposed to call Jill a doctor. Jill Biden was a doctor in education. She had her doctorate, but y'all apparently don't know how the doctor thing works. It's just wild to me. Oh, yeah. It's just crazy. All right. So, a lot of you all said that you weren't in here yesterday. And so for those of you guys that were, I'm gonna revamp some things that you probably heard yesterday. And that's okay. Do I have to finish your residency first to be a doctor? I think so, Tina. That's what I think, right? That's always been my understanding. That's my understanding is you have to complete your residency. And she has not. Correct. Correct. So just saying, what's up, C? Good to see you. I was going to say, that's what I thought. But they've already determined, that what professions are no longer considered professional, nursing and all that. Maybe they decided doctors don't need that anymore. I don't know. This administration is on one, 100%. Okay. But before I dive into the rest of the immigration thing, because these two things go hand in hand. So remember, I told you that there was a hearing. There was a congressional hearing. Jamie Raskin was there. Jaya Paul was there. Did she say Grey's Anatomy says yes? I cannot with you. Okay. So listen. So I was listening to this hearing, and it was all about the United States, the Trump administration, and the First Amendment. Okay. And this is why I picked the phrase collective courage, because this organization is an organization that focuses on the First Amendment and our freedoms. And they were talking about all of the things that this administration has done. Well, welcome, Jenny. Okay, so listen, they were talking about all of the things that the Trump administration has done to try to remove or punish people and intimidate people from using their First Amendment rights. So you remember in the very beginning, they were arresting the people on college campuses who were raising hell and speaking out about the war in Gaza, right? You all remember that? Remember the student protester from Columbia? Good morning, JLC. Do you remember that, you guys? And so they talked about that use of force for intimidation to shut down the use of free speech on college campuses across the country. Then do you remember they were going to cut the funding from our higher learning institutions, right? And Columbia and Northwestern and a bunch of them bowed and kissed the ring and took a bunch of diversity and equity and historical information out of their curriculums, right? And it wasn't until Harvard stood up and said, absolutely not, we're not doing that shit, that the others came on board and said, you know what, we're not going to do that either, right? But it wasn't until Harvard stood up to this administration, and that's what allowed other educational institutions to be able to collectively get on board behind that. And so they were talking about the need for and how critical collective courage is. And she said something that really stuck with me. She said, it is impossible for them to silence 3 million voices. It's impossible for them to silence millions and millions of us that disagree with what's happening. And so if everyone just has collective courage, they won't be able to touch any of us, as long as we all have collective courage. When we don't have collective courage, they can pick us off one at a time. But if we all have collective courage, then it becomes more difficult to attack even one, because attacking one is attacking the entirety of the collective. And I was like, oh, that is so good. That is so good. And so that's why today I wanted to put, right, Rebel, strength in numbers. But that's why today I really wanted to put it as the backdrop for us to remember that collective courage is strength in numbers and power and solidarity and all of that, right? And so I want you to remember that when you are in situations and in spaces where you feel like you are putting yourself out there, know that you are not by yourself, right? You're not. Every single one of us is out there. I think about, the things that I say all the time. And so do you remember, and I've read it a couple of times live, but the letter that I wrote after I read the Heritage Foundation's Esther Project, and the point that the Heritage Foundation is trying to make it right, Jody, that's exactly what happened to mainstream media. They didn't stand together, and they still aren't. You are correct. And the ones that did take a stand, like Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert, those people are still there, right? Because they did take a stand, and then the collective got behind them. But when you don't take a stand and there's no collective behind you, then you get picked off one by one. And that is exactly what has happened with mainstream media. You are right, 100%. Right? So, what was I saying before that? Because I read your comment and then it just flew right out of my brain. What was I saying, y'all? I asked y'all if y'all remembered something and you said yes. What did I ask you if you remembered? The Esther Project. Thank you, BW. Okay, so when the Esther Project was done by the Heritage Foundation, how many of you all are not familiar with the Esther Project? Project Esther is what it's called. Project Esther. How many of you guys are not familiar with it? Put a 1 in the comments if you're not familiar with it. Just drop a 1 for me. Drop a 1, drop a 1, drop a 1. Wow, a lot of you guys aren't. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Okay. Give me 1 second. It's not that it's bad for women, it's bad for everybody. Everybody keeps talking about Project Esther and linking it to women. And I want everyone to understand is that Project Esther is about absolutely all of us. So let me share with you and here's the thing. If you want to know how the Heritage Foundation does this, okay? So when the Heritage Foundation does a project, when they write a project, they actually include a risk analysis. Like, so what is the risk if we do this thing and we are not successful? This is one of the things that how can I say this? I admire the way that they formulate plans, right? I just think that their plans are fucking horrible. But the way that they go about them, the template that they use is incredible, right? Because it tells you what the priorities are, what the methods and the ways are that they intend to achieve the priority, right? They tell you what the end goal is and what the objective is. And then they tell you what are the risks and what are the risks if we don't do it within this time frame. If too much time passes and people pick up on this, or if we get too much backlash and we don't have the narrative organized the right way, this is the potential thing that can happen. And so Project Esther actually doesn't have anything to do with women. I don't know why people keep saying that. I think it's because we all know that they are coming for women and women's rights. Okay, I think maybe that's why. But it actually has to do with criticism of Israel. Good morning, Barbara. That's actually what Project Esther is about. It is eliminating and reducing any criticism of the state of Israel in this country. Listen, Bibi Netanyahu actually met, this is months ago. He met months ago with influencers from the United States that they are paying to be on social media, specifically on TikTok, because they started asking this question. Buenos dias, Mr. Barrios. They asked this question: what are we going to do if we lose the Christian support for Israel? What do we do if the Christians in the United States of America, begin to no longer support the actions of the state of Israel against Palestine? What do we do? How do we do that? And Bibi Netanyahu says we got to go where he says weapons change throughout time. That's what he says. He said weapons change. They grow. They become different things. And he says, and the weapon now is social media. And he says we need to buy TikTok. Larry Ellison purchased TikTok for that reason. Okay. And he talks about it. How many of you guys have not heard Bibi Netanyahu talk about this? Hold on. I'm going to see if I can't get it for you. La, da, 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 da. Here we go. This is it. This was all the way back at the end of September, beginning of October. And so let me see if this is the whole video or not. Give me 1 second. Watch there be a damn ad in my face first. Okay. Where is... I think this is it. I think this is it. Let me see if it's got his whole response though. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I think this is it. Okay. I'm going to turn it up so y'all can hear it. Listen. So her statement was, if you couldn't hear it, I hate the fact that they put music behind it, but her statement was she's somebody that was mentored by Charlie Kirk. She says that Bibi Netanyahu and the Likud party are cut from the same ideological cloth as the GOP and Trump in the US. And she says that from all of her research, Christians are the reason that Israel has had so much support, appreciate you the other Jen, in the United States outside of just Jewish people. And she says, now with Charlie's unaliving, what is another game plan if we lose Christian support? What happens if Israel loses the support of Christians in the U.S.? And here's what he says. This is Bibi. He said, you talk about the woke right. I call it, quote, the woke right. He literally makes that reference. God, I want a different video that doesn't have the damn music behind it. Let me see if this one doesn't have the music behind it. Give me a second, guys. I know. And they laugh. Yeah. So this is what he says. Hold on. I missed the gift. Thank you, Sandy. Okay. So listen. One, he said. Elon. So that's what he says. So yeah, he says, can you guys hear? You can hear Happy Girl? You guys can't hear? Oh, thanks, Sandy. So let me see if I can show it to you again real quick. Is that the first one or the second? Oh, shit, of course. Hold on, guys. I closed out the first one. I closed out the second one and I didn't mean to. Yeah, somebody over on Facebook said they couldn't hear. Could you guys that are on YouTube, you couldn't hear? Okay. You didn't hear either? Hold on, guys. I got you. 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 Sorry. You guys be patient. You had never heard that, EJG? Yeah. I heard it back when he said it. I heard it back when he said it. And it's just astounding because this is what he said. Which one do I have up? Because I would like to have one that doesn't have music behind it, but that also has the actual question that she asked in the front too. So let's just see if this has all of it. This is it. He's talking about Christian influencers. Okay, here we go. Let me share it with you guys so you can hear it. Hold on. Make sure I don't close the right one. Okay. I want to make sure I don't like mess y'all up. No, this is Bibi Netanyahu. That is the Prime Minister of Israel. That's Bibi in Israel. Okay, you guys can see. Let me know if you can't hear it when I push play, okay, guys?
Evangelicals are the reason that Israel has been supported in public sphere outside of just Jews. So with Charlie's assassination and with the kind of trajectory that we see with like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, I guess I'm curious about what's another game plan if we lose evangelical support for the state of Israel. What's our backup plan to be strong, like outside the diaspora?
Christian influencers. Okay. You said, we talked about the woke right, and you said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant observation. The woke Reich, because these people, you know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're Louis. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community, they're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well. Okay, and you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, you know, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that. But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is
Followers.
TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. That's very good. And, you know, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. You should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight, okay? To give direction to the Jewish people and give direction to our non-Jewish friends or those who could be our Jewish our friends. Are we going to succeed with everyone? No. Will there be a strong counterpoint? Yes.
Evangelical.
So this is, I don't know how, you guys were able to hear it over here now, right? You should have been able to hear it. Happy girl, dilly dally, you guys were able to hear it over here? Janet? Not you guys, over here. Yeah, I know TikTok was good. I'm checking over here. You guys. Yes, thank you, Janet, for letting me know. Okay, so this is one of the things that, appreciate it, happy girl. Okay, so this is why I want you all to hear. So a lot of people were saying, and I do know people whose content has been suppressed, whose content, if they are pro-Palestine, they have had a difficult time on social media, especially on TikTok, since it was sold. Okay. I think one of the reasons that I have been fairly okay is because I provide a balance. Like if all I talked about was Gaza and Palestine, I might have a problem. But because I'm balanced and I have a fair share of other things and U.S. things, I've managed to stay okay with the algorithm. But what's really important is Project Esther. And yeah, hold on, guys. Let me stay right here. Let me stay right here for a second. Okay. I got to stay focused. So what I want to talk to you guys about really quickly is Project Esther, which is already in my link tree. But if you're not familiar with it, I'm going to give you just a snippet of an overview of what that document is about and how it has been weaponized in this country. Okay. So Project Esther, they related it back to the Bible. They gave this example of Queen Esther in the Bible, and we needed to be like Queen Esther. fuck them. I hate it when they misuse Christianity, because A, it's blasphemous. B, it is manipulative, and it irks my soul, right? I was born and raised in the church. It irks my soul. And the other thing that bothers me is for people that are Christians who don't have the discernment to recognize when they are being manipulated and utilized by people with religion, right? I can't stand it. And it doesn't matter whether I go to church now or whether I don't. The thing about it is that I can't stand when religion, period, is used for control and fear. And unfortunately, historically speaking, that's pretty much what mankind has done with religion and with faith. Organized religion most of the time has been used to divide and conquer and instill fear in people. And I can't stand that, right? Alaikum salam anas. So this document, they want to say that if you criticize the state of Israel, listen to this, whether you're an individual or whether you are an NGO, which is a non-governmental organization, they are saying that if you are a person or a non-governmental organization that criticizes the state of Israel, that you are, quote, part of the global Hamas support network, end quote. They call it the HSN. So what happens if they label you as being part of a global, quote unquote, Hamas support network? Well, that means you're a terrorist. And then in the United States of America, that means you don't have rights. If you are suspected of being a terrorist or supporting, endorsing, or whatever, then they can pretty much do whatever they want to do. Thank you, Patriot Act, right? So they put together a Project Esther, and I'm going to tell you what they say. The National Task Force to Combat Anti-Semitism leads a coalition, listen to this, to dismantle, right, a T-Rex, the infrastructure that sustains the HSN and associated movements, anti-Semitic violence inside the U.S. of America. Get this, within 12 to 24 months. That was their time frame. Now, in case you're wondering, this document came out October 7th of 2024. So by October of 2026, they want to have been able to do this. Yes, they do, Petra. Yes, they do. And let me just tell you what their goal is. Quote, ensure that U.S.-based anti-Semitic movements are incapable of threatening U.S. citizens with violence, which, by the way, I'm not aware of any that are threatening U.S. citizens. I'm not aware of them, and certainly not me or people that I know, right? Their stated objective at the top of page 4 is, quote, dismantle the pro-Hamas support network's infrastructure across America. And then they give you how they intend to do this. They said, gain a comprehensive understanding of the infrastructure that sustains individuals and organizations supporting Hamas. Mobilize a coalition of private organizations. And it says, build and coordinate the efforts and activities of private organizations in the U.S. to achieve combined efforts. Erode support. Exploit fissures within and among them and their affiliated organizations and their target audiences, right? Synchronize coalition actions to maximize impact. Orchestrate activities and actions across society in collaboration with federal and state government. They are literally telling you they intend to collaborate with the government. They want you to disrupt and degrade networks and deny them resources. I'm reading verbatim. And deny them resources they need to conduct and sustain this behavior. Exactly. And December 8th, 2025, there was a DOJ memo implemented by Trump, right? That lists all of the people that could be them. Exactly. And then they tell you the means, and then they tell you the risk. Listen to this. Here's the risk, they say, quote, there is risk both in doing nothing and in doing something. If left alone, they could become irrelevant or discredit themselves, although current trends and geopolitical conditions don't support this conclusion. And at the same time, if Project Esther succeeds, it would reinforce a quote unquote blood libel narrative, lending credence that they quote unquote blame. I want to be careful on TikTok. And so it literally says it's incumbent upon us to integrate measures to mitigate the negative consequences that could result from success. Folks, they literally want to say that if you simply are against the G side of Palestine and you speak out against the state of Israel, then that makes you automatically part of that network. Yes, that's what they say. And my response to that, once I read Project Esther, and if you've been with me for a while, you've heard me read this twice, then I'm sorry, because I'm going to read it again. But this is what I mean when I talk about collective courage. Because when I wrote this, I don't know that I was being brave. I was pissed. I don't know that I was like being brave. I was mad. And so July 31st, I wrote a response to Project Esther. And this is what sometimes happens, a lot of times happens with me. When I see things that are not fair, that are it strikes this chord in me, right? I find it morally repulsive. It lacks integrity. It makes me angry. It's manipulative. I have this very vehement reaction to it. And typically I will either hop on a live and talk about it, or I will write something about it. And so this shit from the Heritage Foundation really irritated my soul. So when I posted it on my Substack and then subsequently also on my Facebook, I included my little picture when I graduated basic training. Right, Sin, it's very visceral. And so that I included my little picture from when I graduated basic training. And so this is what I said. Hey, Heritage, fuck off. That's the title of it. Hey, Heritage, ... fuck off. Jesus wouldn't support your interpretation of Christianity. Neither do I. Like many people around the world, I am tired of watching domestic terrorists dressed in suits, hiding behind think tanks, corporations, and even administrations use Christianity to justify their actions. Too often, when we picture a quote unquote terrorist, they're wearing a turban, hiding in a cave in the Middle East and reading the Quran. In reality, the terrorists we face in the United States today are riding in jets, standing behind podiums and pulpits, dressed in their Sunday best, talking about quote unquote American values and heritage while holding Bibles, sometimes upside down. And in true form, they are projecting their actions and plans onto the rest of us who are simply standing on the side of humanity like Jesus did. And as if from a page in the Bible they claim to know so well, they are attempting to persecute us the same way the kings and pharaohs did Jesus. They want to confuse the nation of Israel today with the Israel of the Bible, when in truth, the Israel of the Bible sometimes referred to a person, a people, or a place, depending upon what denomination you practice. For example, Jacob's name was changed to Israel in Genesis 32:28. Now, before I go any further, let me say that none of that truly matters, because your government is intended to operate separate of a particular religion, even Christianity. Even if some of the founding fathers refer to quote unquote God, there are many other religions that believe in God as well, and their personal faith can guide their perspectives, but they cannot be put into law. There is a difference. So when Rafael Cruz, you may know him as Ted, tells Tucker Carlson that the reason he supports Israel is because the Bible tells him to, he's immediately in error. So now that we've established the importance of separating Christianity and all other religions from the government, let's get back to the blasphemy being committed by the Heritage Foundation, the Trump administration, and the GOP. It's important to note that speaking against the actions of a government official, a government, or its military is not speaking against the people under that government. Neither is it speaking against those people's religion. Let me say that again. Speaking against the government of Israel and the G side being committed at the direction of its president is not speaking against the people of Israel or their religion. And no matter how many times the Heritage Foundation says differently in their Project Esther document, it doesn't change that fact. Heritage, you do not get to make anyone who doesn't want the innocent people of Palestine unalived by Israeli forces part of a quote unquote Hamas network. Nope, that's not how free speech works. That's not how terrorism cells work. You are actually a perfect representation of how domestic terrorist organizations work. You just happen to be a rich, white American one. And that's the reason many people miss it. I see you. As a veteran, I took an oath to protect this country from all enemies, foreign and domestic. I might not be dressed in BDUs with Kevlar and combat boots, armed with an M16, but dressed in yoga pants, a t-shirt, and barefoot, armed with a computer, a keyboard, live streaming, and a voice. I am still fighting and fulfilling my duty to this country. I know you believe that if you keep using Bible references and getting preachers to use the Lord's name in vain, because that's what you're doing, right? That people will continue to support what's happening. You're wrong. People are better than that. And at our core, the vast majority of us want the same things. We want our neighbors and their children to have access to safe, quality healthcare. We want our children to be taught accurate history, even the uncomfortable parts, so that when we learn from them, we never repeat them and continue becoming better together. We want our children safe in schools while our families are free to secure and protect their homes and their persons. We want to make our healthcare decisions privately with our families and doctors who are medically trained to help determine what is best for us. We want to work and make enough money to own a home, feed and clothe our children without having to choose which bill not to pay or which medication not to pick up. We want our parents and grandparents to spend their remaining years in decency and comfort because they have earned that. These things aren't partisan. No matter how much you want people to believe they are human. And despite what Citizens United said, corporations aren't people. We are. And we demanded to be treated as such. So yeah, take your perversion of a beautiful teaching, the teachings of Jesus Christ, and fuck all the way off. In continued service, me. So I was mad. I was really mad. I was really, really mad. But just saying. It's, for me, this is the thing, right? Yeah, I was really mad, y'all. And after I did it, I was like, oh shit. No, Christine. No, they didn't. Nobody came for me. Nobody came for me. But this is my thing, is that, yeah, Audra, I did at the time. I posted it on Facebook back in the summer. But yeah, I'll share it again. I don't write enough on my Substack. I need to start writing more. It's hard to have all the time of the day to do those things. No, Bella, I don't want to run for anything. Marilyn, I hadn't held it in at all. I just read Project Esther and it pissed me off. And I was like, you got to get the fuck out of here. Right? Get the fuck out of here. It really irritates my soul because I don't believe, you know what I mean? Like it really made me angry. And it's the same way when I talk about healthcare corporations and pharmaceutical companies and insurance companies. There are, to me, those are the corner boys that we need to be concerned about. The corner boys sitting in corner offices in their corporate suits that make decisions every day that have Americans unalive. Those are the people, not the corner boys with the devil's lettuce on the street. They're not the ones. It's the ones in the corner offices of the pharmaceutical companies, the insurance industries, the healthcare organizations, and the hospitals that are making decisions every day that allow Americans to literally die for their fucking profit. Those are the corner boys that we really ought to be concerned with. And folks, I don't care if you dress it up and put them in a suit. It is still, if you are sitting in your office making a decision that you know is going to cost someone their life, you're a murderer. And it's not just business. And I don't care if your stockholders are proud of you. I hope your bonuses are worth it. And if y'all don't understand that, that is why everybody loves Luigi. That is why everybody loves Luigi. And it's not that anybody is like necessarily celebrating the loss of a particular life, but they are celebrating a stance that says, we are tired of the corporate bullshit and we are tired of this country choosing corporations over people. You do not have more value based on the zeros in your bank account. You don't have more value because you have more zeros in your bank account. Your nationality does not make you more valuable. Whether you're Mexican, Colombian, Venezuelan, or a US citizen, the value of your life is the same. Right. Luigi shed a light on the struggle. And it was only at that time that people started talking about the United Healthcare. They deny more claims than damn near anybody. They deny more claims than anybody. Why do we have to fight insurance companies to get a procedure that a doctor says, I need? Insurance companies don't know more than the doctor. And I don't care how many former doctors or nurses that you have working for your insurance company. At the end of the day, their alliance is to you, not the patient. And they don't know that particular patient's medical history to make that damn decision. John Q was the movie with Denzel Washington. And he served 2 years in prison, for real. And so this to me is the message for everyone. This is what everyone should be running on. But if you all don't know, and many of you guys, you've said you're new with me and you're not here, and so welcome, and I love that you're here. I could literally I could play for you another clip. It's a 9-minute clip. And it is former President Jimmy Carter in a 2009, I believe, interview on Democracy Now!, right? And he's literally talking about the super PAC APAC, the pro-Israel APAC, right? 2007, thanks, Be Action. And he's literally saying that if he said, I don't know a single person in Congress that would speak out about them or against the state of Israel. And if they did, they wouldn't be in Congress next term. And he said that 18, 19 years ago. And it is still true today. How do we know it's true today? You see Marjorie Taylor Greene's ass is out, don't you? Now, you might say, oh, well, she got on board with the Epstein files. So did Massey. So did Bobart. So did Mace. They're not out, are they? What did she do that was different than what they did? She talked about Israel. She talked about the state of Israel. She said that AIPAC should be registered as a foreign lobby, which they fucking should, and she's out. That's the difference. That's the difference. How dare she? And by the way, AIPAC funds Republicans and Democrats alike. Republicans and Dems alike. All of the leadership in the House, AIPAC funds, Democratic and Republican. Just so y'all know. Y'all, we've got members of Congress walking the halls with buttons that say 50 states, 1 Israel. What the fuck is that? What is that? This is not no 50 states, 1 Israel. How is that America first? Have y'all not seen them? Man, listen. Listen, and AIPAC has now elevated their efforts in this country. Hey, Valerie. So they are now going from Congress down to your state legislature. Last year, Israel paid and brought 250 of your state legislators to Israel to come kiss the wall. $250 of your state reps. Yeah. Florida has a license plate, y'all, that says stands with Israel. Florida stands with Israel. Florida has a government license plate that says Florida stands with Israel. In what world do we have a government license plate that says one of our states supports another fucking country? In what world? They get to unalive our citizens and nothing happens to them. They get to hold an American teen in prison for 10 months last year and nothing happens. So let me be clear. So far as the Democratic Party goes, let me tell you my agenda, my plan for Democrats in Congress. This will be 2026 will be the last year that you get into office taking pro-Israel money. This will be the last year as a Democrat that you could be elected to office taking pro-Israel money. And the only reason it will happen this year is because we are putting the country over how we fucking feel about you. We are putting the entire country above how we feel about you. Because we understand that we need a Democratic majority in the House and the Senate in order to get this country back, like not even back on track, to get us finally the fuck on track, to close the loophole that the Trump administration has exposed, right? We understand that. We understand that it must be the Democratic Party that is the majority in the House and the Senate. We got it. After that, though, you might want to figure some shit out because nobody is voting for you again. Nobody. It's just that simple. People actually want folks in office that are going to do the right thing for the fucking people, not grandstand for your performative moments so you get a good social media clip, not so that you can get all of your words on the record and look like you really did something. No, we want people that are actually going to do the work for the people, that aren't subject to PACs, that aren't subject to corporations, that are actually going to fight for what's best for people. Regular, everyday people. Across the board. And it is time for some of these folks that are just absolutely just diabolical to get the fuck out. Out. Listen, I don't want to hear anybody talk to me about term limits. We can no longer be lazy about our democracy. Term limits is an excuse to not vote people the fuck out. We are the term limits. If somebody's not doing their job, it is our responsibility to vote them the fuck out. That's it. We are the term limits. There should be no congressional Bible studies. Did y'all know they have a Bible study in Congress? Diana Harshbarger, Mike Johnson, they go to it. A whole bunch of them do, Lily. We've talked about a whole bunch of them that take AIPAC money. And not just AIPAC money, but NORPAC money, J Street money, pro-Israel money. If y'all don't know what CUFI is, look it up. CUFI. It's Christians United for Israel. They set up a political PAC, but then when they were getting caught too much, right, with their campaign donations, now they just collectively get together. It's run by John Hagee with his gluttonous ass. And they literally, if you're not for Israel, you're not Christian. They got a whole ass Facebook page. You ain't never seen it? You want to see it? Let me show you. Let me show you what it looks like. They have a whole thing. They might as well be, listen, they talk about Israel more than they do Jesus on that page. There it is. And they're a nonprofit organization run by John Hagee on Facebook. They have 1.8 million followers. And as soon as you go there, they got a post about Zionism. Look, here's what it says. Hold on. Y'all want to see it? You need to see it too. Hold on. I got y'all. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. So let me show you. As soon as you go, look. Y'all read that shit? No, John Hagee. Appreciate it, Sassy. Look at that. How about that? It's all about Israel. It's all about Israel, y'all. There ain't nothing on this page about Jesus Christ. It is all about Israel. See that? It's Christians United, and this whole page is nothing but Israel. So, yeah. Just so y'all know, I can't stand Hagee either. So, are y'all freaking out over here on this side too? Yeah. What's up, Jabber? Thanks, Nance. Probably. Wait. Yes. So John Hagee said in 2000, well, Hagee quoted Matt Corley, it says. Oh, well, wait, hold on a second. Here's a whole ass article. In 2008, he said that he believes the rapture and the second coming of Jesus Christ are imminent. I don't know if imminent meant like another 20 years away or whatever, but that's what he said. He says that the rebirth of Israel and the restoration of Jerusalem are a prelude. And this is the reason. This is why it's so dangerous. They believe this has to happen. He said, yes, in 2006, he said, quote, Hurricane Katrina was, quote, God's retribution for a planned gay pride parade in New Orleans. That's what he said. He said that Hurricane Katrina was God's retribution for a gay pride parade in New Orleans. No, that was Louisiana. Oh, so what was the Texas flood then? I don't know. Yeah. John Hagee, pastor, Christian John Hagee. So Tucker Carlson is against the state of Israel because the United States of America is putting Israel over our own agenda. This is why the Republican Party is absolutely ripped apart right now, because I'm telling you, if we fuck around and do some boom booms where Iran is concerned, the Republican Party is going to be like real talk, y'all. Nobody wants to go to war with Iran, but Bibi wants us to. Bibi wants us to. Bibi Netanyahu is the reason for almost damn near all of our wars in the Middle East. There's video of Bibi Netanyahu talking about Iran having these weapons like back in the damn 70s, 80s. It's absolutely astounding. I really want you all to get to wrap your head around all of this. Hold on, let me see if I can find this for y'all. So there was actually the 50 states, one Israel conference was where 250 of our state representatives, our state legislatures went to Israel from September 14th to September 18th, 2025. So now they are taking PAC money, they are taking pro-Israeli money and taking it from just being on the congressional level for federal laws down to your state level. That's literally the name of the damn conference. I really want you all to let that sit with you all. It's absolutely crazy. And so this is the divide. The divide is happening because people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, what's up, Abu Sarraj? People like Marjorie Taylor Greene, people like Tucker Carlson, those folks truly believe in an America First agenda. And so the reason why they have broken from Trump is because Trump is putting Israel first. And that is why you see the disconnect happening between them. That is why you see Marjorie's ass getting told she need to go ahead and retire and get out of the Senate. Yeah, so listen, Tucker done told him, he said, these people are European Jews. They don't have no title to the land. They don't have any ties to the land. They are from Europe, and they are. He said, we know good and well, we can trace the Palestinian people. We can go do their DNA test, and they're going to come back from years upon years upon years upon years, right? To that land. But the state of Israel was created for European Jews. For people that don't know. And folks, the person that's on my panel right now is a friend of mine, Abu Sarraj, who is actually in Gaza. So if you have TikTok coins or beans that you want to send his way, feel free to gift him. He's also got a link in my link tree. Salam, Abu Sarraj. What did he say? Yeah.
Wa alaikum salam. Hi, Dani.
Hi, Abu Sarraj. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. Alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm okay. It's really good to see you all.
Yes, good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while.
I hope all of you are doing well.
Yeah, we're doing good. How are you doing, friend? How's your Ramadan? Ramadan Kareem, Abu Sarraj.
You know, Ramadan, we have been practicing since the beginning of the G side for Ramadan, so it's just like any other days in which, unfortunately, people are still struggling with providing food and basically having only one meal a day.
Mm-hmm.
Just please let me know in the comments, guys, if you can hear me. I would like to speak about some points. Dani, I won't take much of your time.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Just I want to make sure that people can listen to me in the comments first. Yes, okay. Basically,
You guys can hear.
you know, Dani, that there is, let me call it as a misunderstanding that that the situation is getting better in the Gaza Strip. But unfortunately, this is far away from the truth. The situation here on the ground is still terrible, even after the so-called ceasefire. We cannot call it a ceasefire because the occupation forces are still targeting Palestinians in the Gaza Strip on daily basis.
Yep.
And not a single day passes by without them unaliving Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. The occupation forces are still restricting the entry of aid to the Gaza Strip. And as a result, more than 2.2 million people are still struggling, in which they can hardly find food,
It is,
they
Charlene.
can hardly find medication, water, and they can hardly find electricity to charge their phones and batteries.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to make this clear for everyone. I know that you must have heard about the opening of Rafah crossing point.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is opened, but under severe restrictions in which only a couple of dozens are allowed to use it every day,
Mhm.
while we have more than 20,000 Palestinians who are in desperate need for medical evacuation, and they cannot get out of Gaza to get medicine.
Yeah.
They are depriving the people of Palestine of their mere human rights, and unfortunately, all of this happening under the nose of the international community that has decided to stand with Israel against humanity, against justice, and against freedom. Dani, the situation is unbearable. And for me, as someone living in Gaza, I still have this feeling of insecurity and instability,
Yeah.
in which every night we wonder whether the occupation forces are going to target us or the ones we love.
Yeah.
That's it. I just wanted to share this with you.
Yeah. So the things that I have read and that I try to share with everybody is the last estimates that I saw were around 500 or so Palestinians have still been unalived since October 10th, when the supposed quote unquote ceasefire was put in place. There's still Palestinians that are being unalived by Israel on a regular basis. And then what I've read is that only about 260 people total since the Rafah crossing opened have been allowed to get out to get medical care, but there are 20,000 people that need emergency medical treatment. So, like Allah Shakshak is a Palestinian journalist. They've even been in touch with the WHO, trying to get him out because he needs urgent heart surgery. He's a dad and a grandfather, and so it still hasn't happened. Raja's brother has a huge kidney stone. It's just I met Hussein 2 days ago on Wasim's live, and he has cancer. He has lymphatic cancer in his neck, and still cannot get out. They will not allow him out to get the treatment that he needs outside of Gaza. So, yeah, it's really important that people understand that it's not over. And for those of you all who don't know this, I haven't talked to you about it at all, Abu Siraj, but there is actually in exactly, Chris. Over on Facebook, Abu Siraj, Chris is saying you are describing war crimes and crimes against humanity, and there's no reason for this to continue. Everyone has the right to live. Exactly. So, Chris, you all know that the United States of America sends weapons to Israel. And we say, oh, we're just sending defensive, but that's not true. Anything that is defensive can be used for offensive stuff, right? And just so that you all know, one of the devices that we sent that was utilized in Palestine is this weapon that literally evaporated. Listen to what I'm saying. They evaporated 3,000 Palestinians. The only thing that was left of them were little bits of flesh and pieces of brain matter. They evaporated them. 3,000 of them. The number is like 2,890, whatever, 3,000. That came from us. That came from us. Without the United States of America, Israel would not be able to do what it is doing in Palestine. Everyone should understand that and know that we are complicit. The children the more than 20,000 children that are unalived, that's on us. If you didn't see my interview, either one of them, because I interviewed her twice with Dr. Mimi, please go back and watch it. I will repost it. Dr. Mimi told me directly out of her own mouth the 2 times that she was in Palestine. She kept track of her patients. 86% of her patients were children. 86% of her patients were children. It's really important for people to understand this. It is very important for people to really understand that the state of Israel has nothing to do with the Israel of the Bible. The state of Israel, do you know who asked for the state of Israel to be created in Palestine? Let me ask it a different way. Let me ask you a different way. If you don't know who asked for the state of Israel to be created in Palestine, put a 1 in the comments if you don't know. This was all the way back in 1917. If you don't know, put a 1 in the comments. See, Abu Siraj, this is why it's so important that we still continue to talk about it.
I agree with you, Dani. I agree. And I just want to say something really quick. I know that you must have watched Tucker Carlson interviewing Mike Huckabee, the American ambassador to Israel. And you remember his statement that he has no problem if Israel took the whole Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
And again, guys, this is not an ordinary American citizen. He is an American official representing the U.S. in Israel. And it tells us a lot about the American policy towards our region. They want to take it all. The American intervention and Israeli intervention in the region aims at destroying, dividing our countries so that it become easy for them to take over and steal our resources and enslave us, actually.
Yeah.
This is why, by what he said, he is justifying our resistance. When you know that your enemy is aiming at taking all of your region, what are you supposed to be doing in this case? The only option for us is to fight back and to resist. And this is exactly what we are doing here in Palestine. Is exactly what they are doing in Lebanon, in Yemen, in Syria. It is our right to defend ourselves. No one has the right to come here, send their forces and try to take over our land and our territory. So honestly, Dani, I really hope that the American people will wake up and see the truth by themselves, that Israel is dragging the US into a regional war that is about to happen, by the way, so that it becomes easier for them to eliminate any threat or anyone who can stand in their face or stand in the face of their evil scheme of taking over our region. That's why, as a Palestinian, as a Gazan, I have no regrets about what happened.
Yes, Petra.
And we will keep fighting until, inshallah, we get our freedom, to send a clear message to everyone that we will not go down no matter what, because this is our land and we are not going anywhere.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you guys some information. Abu Siraj, you can just stay right where you are. So a lot of you guys put a 1 in the comments. Okay. So I'm going to give you all the actual facts. Okay. Are you ready? We're going to walk through this together. And here's the only thing I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you that once I give you the facts, I'm going to ask you to go share them with the people in your life that don't know. This is my one ask of you. All of the documents that I'm getting ready to talk to you about are in my link tree, all of them. So here's what occurred. So first you have to remember that in November of 1917, we were in the midst of World War I, right? World War I did not end until November of 1918. Got it? Okay. So here's what happened. November of 1917, Lord Rothschild in Britain got a piece of correspondence from Lord Balfour. Lord Rothschild had sent information to the British government asking for the British to help them establish a national home for Jewish Zionists. That's literally what it says. The document says that, okay, in Palestine. And so now I'm going to read to you what Lord Balfour said to Lord Rothschild in this document. He said, "Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you on behalf of His Majesty's government the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the cabinet. His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people." Now I'm going to pause for a second right there. For those people who walk around saying the dumbest shit ever, that Palestine doesn't exist, they literally acknowledge that it's Palestine when they agree to create the national home for Jewish people in Palestine. And he says, and we'll use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object, it being clearly understood, this is what the British say, that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. And then he ends with this sentence right here, quote, "I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation." So I want you to be clear. This is not about Judaism. Judaism is different than Zionism. They are not the same thing. And the document clearly tells you that it is Jewish Zionists and the Zionist Federation that ask for this national home to be created in Palestine. Now, here's what's important for you to know. In 1917, Palestine didn't belong to the Brits. Who the fuck were the Brits to say yes about giving somebody else's land away? Can somebody else give away your house? Absolutely not. Can I tell somebody else that they can come take part of your house, they get one of your bedrooms, they get one of your bathrooms and part of your kitchen? Can I give them part of your house and say, listen, just don't mess with them, they can live in the rest of the house? Absolutely not. But that is what the Brits did. Do y'all get that? So when people say, so listen, if somebody comes into your home that you did not invite, that takes over part of your house, part of your yard, right? If you fight them, are you actually attacking them or are you defending your home? Are you attacking them or are you defending your home? Tell me which one. Are you attacking or defending? You're defending your home. You are defending your home. And whether you defend your home when they first come or 10 years later, I'll tell you how they got away with it. So fast forward. So listen. So then by the time you get to 1918, because here's the thing, at that time in 1917, Palestine was under the Ottoman Empire. They were under the Turkish, right? So after World War I was finished, the Allied powers were deciding who got what land and what happened. Okay. So in 1922, This is when the League of Nations was formed, which later became the UN. Because they're Zionists, Jay. So listen, Zionists believe that in order for Jesus Christ to return, okay, that there has to be the greater Israel. This is why Israel not just attacks Gaza, but also attacks Lebanon and Syria and Iran. Like they be bombing, they be booming everybody because they believe in quote unquote the greater Israel project. All of it is what they believe should be theirs. And they believe they are supposed to rebuild a particular temple where a mosque currently stands in order to bring Jesus back. So literally, these folks believe that in order for Jesus to return and prophecy to be fulfilled, basically, G-side has to occur. Listen, I need for y'all to understand something. That ain't Jesus. That is not Jesus. So in 1922, when the League of Nations is formed, guess what they tell Palestine? Do you want me to tell y'all what they say? Guess what they tell Palestine? They tell Palestine, well, listen, since you don't have all the infrastructure and government and all the other things like to stand in a modern society, the British are gonna be like your big brother. The British are gonna be like your big brother. And we're gonna walk alongside you and help build you up until you can stand on your own. Okay? Now, here's the thing. While they're telling Palestinians this, they've already promised part of the Palestinian land to the Zionist Federation. Well, let me back up for a second. The reason Christian Zionists support all of this is because they want Jesus to come back. Okay? Christian Zionists. Because let me just tell you something. There are more Christian Zionists than there are Jewish Zionists. It's Christian Zionists that believe for Jesus to come back. I should have made that clear. Sorry. Okay? Now, check this part. So now you've got Great Britain over there. And guess what they're doing in order to help facilitate this national home for European Jews on land that they don't own, that land that they don't have any entitlement to whatsoever? Well, they give the national home weapons and they build them up and they establish them and all of that. So by the time we get to May 15th, 1948, you hear me? By the time we get to May 15th, 1948, which is when the British say they're going to withdraw, right? Israel has now said, well, we want more than what you gave us. And they're fighting with the Palestinians. And so guess what? The UN, there's a draft document that was just unclassified in 2018. It is in my link tree. And I'm just going to paraphrase it for you. You ready? Here's what they say. So the dude from the UN does this draft document to the Secretary of State in the US, and he says, oh shit, listen, we got a situation here because last night, the Jewish agency, which would be the state of Israel, said that they will not engage in truce negotiations with the Muslims here. They will not engage in truce negotiations with the Arabs. They said they just have a moral obligation to not engage in them. And then they say, and then he says, listen, here's the problem with that. Like, even if the Arabs accept the truce negotiations, then the state of Israel, they might have to pretend Like they might be pressured via public opinion to look like they're going through truce negotiations, but they're really not going to. Got it? So he says, so here's the problem that we are going to have. And in 10 days' time, we're going to have to make a choice. The Security Council at the UN is going to have to make a choice. He said, because when the British leave, when we remove our forces, Israel is going to continue to attack Palestine to try to keep taking more land. He said, and then this is going to be the problem. He says, if the neighboring Arab countries come to the aid of Palestine, which might happen, right? Then we are going to have to decide if it's becoming enough of an international incident that we need to get involved. He said, because what will happen is Israel will come running to us saying that they need us to do something because they will do everything to hide the fact that they are the ones attacking first and that it's a counterattack by the Palestinians. This is in writing between the governments. Yes, Valerie, it's about religious beliefs. And it's not Judaism, nor is it real Christianity. It's Christian Zionist and Jewish Zionist. So literally, the UN says, what are we going to do? Because if the other Arab countries come to the defense of Palestine, Israel is going to ask us to intervene, even though they're the ones that initiated the attack. Okay? Now, basically what they were saying is if we if we can still have our relationships with the other Arab countries and we can still get the oil and the this and the that we want, then it's okay if Israel does whatever to Palestine. We left them. We left them out. We hung them out to dry, and so did the surrounding Arab countries. Everybody knew that they were going to try, and so what followed right after that was what something called the Nakba. How many of you guys have heard of the Nakba? It is where they displaced and unalived almost 800,000 Palestinians. It's the NAKBA, the Nakba. Almost 800,000 in 1948. Drove them from their lands and from their houses, unalived them. And they just keep taking more and more and more. And that is why Palestinians are only in the West Bank and in Gaza. Do y'all understand that Gaza is an open air prison? There are huge guard towers, 5 of them around the city of Gaza with weapons. Did you know that there are roads that Palestinians are not allowed to drive on? It is apartheid. President Jimmy Carter said that it is an apartheid and that it is a worse apartheid than existed in South Africa. Israel has determined how much they can eat, how many calories they can have, whether food comes into the region, whether it goes out of the region. Did you all know that the Carter Foundation oversaw 3 elections in Gaza, including in 2008 when the people elected Hamas? Did you know that in addition to the Carter Foundation overseeing all 3 elections in Palestine, they went there for every election and they saw the illegal Israeli settlements? just like they're doing now in the West Bank, where they're ruining farmers' crops and kicking them out of their homes and unaliving them. Salam, Raja. They've destroyed a Christian church there. Listen, they don't stop to ask whether you're a Christian Palestinian, a Jewish Palestinian, or a Muslim Palestinian. All they care about is that you're Palestinian, which means you need to be unalived. This is not about religion, folks. This is not about Judaism. It's not about Jewish people. It is literally about the state of Israel. And the state of Israel was created for European Jews to come establish their national home there. Well, Janet, the Bible would have never said that Jesus Christ was a Christian because Christianity is literally named after Jesus Christ. Jesus was a Palestinian Jew. Jesus was from Palestine, and he was a Jew. How about that? Just so everyone is clear. Christianity didn't exist when Jesus walked the earth, people. Christianity was based off of Jesus Christ, supposedly. So Jesus would have never been Christian. And I'm just going to say this. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. If Jesus were alive today, he would be braiding whips just like he did the last time. He would be flipping over tables, and he would be whipping people's ass out of the church. Jesus wasn't for the church back then. He was against organized religion when he was walking the earth. And the same way back then that organized religion and the kings were working together is the same way today. It's the same way today. He hasn't requested, Scotty. Raja's not in my requests. Hella, 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 Habibi. His little boy is trying to say hi to me.
How are you? How are you, Dani?
I'm good. How are you, Raja?
Missed you, best Dani, best family. All love, all friends.
All love, Raja. Yeah. So for those of you guys,
what this?
Where's
what
Red?
He says, "Hello, Dani." Hello, Dani.
His little boy is gonna say it to me. Hi, baby. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, Habibi.
Hello, 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 Habibi. Let me see. Hello, 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 Habibi. Oh, he's so cute. So for those of you guys who can't see or hear, that is our friend Raja, who is in Gaza, and that's his little boy. So when they say hella, 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 that's like saying yo, yo, yo. It's when you're like talking to your friends. And so he's got his little boy saying hella, 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 Dani. Yeah, organized religion and money go hand in hand. Yeah, they do live in a tent, as you can see. This is the tent that they are in. It is cold. It is wintertime. It is raining. It is storming. Yeah, 100%. You know, we do as much as we can to support our friends, and yeah, Carla, probably. We do love Raja. We do love Raja. Let me see where you are, Carla. Yeah, he's got such a beautiful smile. Just we love them. Um oh, I got you. Y'all know who wants to come on up here. Y'all know who's coming up here. Red has a crush on Raja. He's very handsome. A lot of the Palestinian
Hello, Rich, my friend.
hello Red, my friend is what he's saying. Yeah, y'all should have known. Yeah, exactly, Janet. I think it's just really important for people to understand um, things aren't as intense as they were, but things are still really bad. I really want you all to know that things aren't as tense as they were, but things are really bad. We still hear drones in the background all the time. Um, well, the British didn't, Rachel. So here's what it was: is they were asking because World War One looked as if the Allied powers were going to win, and so that meant there was this land that had been under the Ottoman Empire, right? Had been under Turkish rule, and so they were asking the British, "Hey, when y'all finish." And you all win this war, can you let us establish a national home here? And they put it before the British cabinet and they said yes. And that's how it happened. They gave away land that didn't yet belong to them. Hey, Ethan. But I really want people to understand that this is not about Christianity and this is not about Judaism. It is about Zionism. That's it. That's what it's about. And listen, if you are pro Palestine, you cannot be anti-Semitic because Semitic is just language. If you speak the language of the region, whether it's Arabic or Hebrew or whatever, right? So being against, yeah, it's a Semitic language. Semitic is language, y'all. So when they talk about being anti-Semitic, it's just horseshit. It's not a thing. It's not a thing for the majority of people. And being pro-Palestinian does not make you anti anybody else. So just to be clear about that. And so I just really want people to become aware and become really well informed so that you can share information. Because y'all, can you imagine being in Gaza and having the whole world see you being destroyed and the whole world just watches? The whole world has just watched a G-side in living color on your TV screens, on your phones, and just not done anything about it. Matter of fact, have aided in it, contributed to it. And it's wild to me that they still can have so much love for people. It's amazing to me. I don't know that if I lived in Gaza, I could still like meet Americans or meet people and have love. I don't know. I don't know that I could after almost 80 years of illegal occupation and having your families just unalived and all of that. And the thing about it is when you get to know them, when you get to see them and you get to have relationships and friendships with them, this is why Bibi wanted TikTok to be purchased, because there were too many people on TikTok telling the damn truth about Gaza and telling the truth about Palestine And that's what they didn't like. That is when the whole media started paying attention. So what you can do is apply pressure to every single legislator that you have. Every single legislator that you have. They need to not be taking pro-Israel money. They need to vote against funding Israel. They need to not send weapons to Israel at all. Period. Yeah, if you don't know what the Hasbara is, that's the Israeli propaganda machine. How many times have you heard an American politician, a U.S. politician, say these exact words? Quote, Israel has the right to defend itself, end quote. How many of you have ever heard that exact quote? Quote, Israel has the right to defend itself. Yeah, right? That shit came directly from Hasbara. That's the Israeli propaganda machine. They're not defending shit. They are the offensive. They are the ones attacking. Everything else is being done in defense of. Anything that Palestine has done, anything since 1922, anything has been in defense of their land and their lives. And when you know and when you understand that the British and the US made this possible, you understand why many people in that region of the world can't stand us. I wouldn't like us. I would not like us if I were them. They're like, oh, they yelled unalive death to America. If I were them, if I were them, I would feel the same fucking way. I'm just telling you. Y'all, we're not talking about that right now. Hi, Habibi. He's so handsome. All smiles. Right, Kayla. I don't even like us. I don't even like us.
Easy.
His little voice acting so funny. Let me see if I can. Let me see. Can you guys see them? There. So that is Raja, you guys. And he had his little boy on there with him. That's the tent that they live in. And you can see he's dressed like that because it's cold. It's winter there. It's winter. And so they've had torrential rain. There's been between 5 and 8 babies that have unalived due to the cold weather right now. I don't know how many of you all know that or not, but yeah, that's a thing. Yeah. So it's just really important. And this is what I would say for everybody that is listening to me, that has been in these rooms with me. What I would say is, and you want to do something, okay? If you're on TikTok, you know you can do coins. And all of my friends, or many of my friends, also have links either in their profiles on TikTok, or many of them are in my link tree. They're in my link tree. So if you want to be able to do something directly, right, and to assist, you can do that in my link tree. Okay. That's how you can help. You want to help them get Ramadan baskets. You want to help them have a meal, you want to help them to be able to do that, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Okay. Oh, I love that invisible string, but that's the way that you do it. That's the way that you can help and can assist. Many of them don't have links. So that's why when they are on TikTok, we do TikTok coins, because they are able to convert them, transfer them into crypto, and then they're able to use it in some form to be able to purchase the things that they need. So really, really important. This goes into, appreciate you, Cherry Blossom. This goes into the conversation that I have when I talk about US, Israel, and Iran. Hey, Hussein. Yes, it probably went into the drafts. It probably did. Hold on. So, guys, if you heard me just a minute ago talking about
Hello, my sister. How are you?
hi, Hussein. How are you?
I'm fine, and you? Thank you.
I'm good. I am good. For those of you guys who heard me say a minute ago that there was somebody over there that has cancer in his throat. He has lymphedema. Oh my gosh, lymphoma. Yeah, lymphoma in his throat. That is Hussein, and he still has not been able to get out of Gaza to get the treatment that he needs. And so that's why I brought him up as soon as I saw him. Like it's a difficult. Can I share things with some of you all that you may not know? Because I know some of you all, this is new information for. Okay. So you already know it, Hussein, but so just so that you all know, did you know that Palestinians have the highest literacy rate in the world? They have literacy rates of like 98 and 97%. Did you all know that?
Yes.
Yeah. Some of you all are like, really? You didn't know, right? Colleen, let me ask him. Hussein, were you able to make a link?
I sent a link to you.
Okay.
Yesterday.
Yesterday?
Private message.
Okay. So Colleen, he does have one. He got one created. So I'll put it in my link tree, and I'll share it in the Discord. Salam Noor. And so yeah, so listen, and Amal, who is one of the women that I know on here, and then another woman that I know who's also in Gaza, they're both engineers. This idea that somehow their women aren't, they go to school, they're educated, they are all the things. I know in the States, they try to make you believe that women there aren't allowed to do this or to do that. Listen, no. The women that I've met on here, they're engineers. Amal was an architect. They are brilliant. Yeah. Is Wasim in here, Witch?
No, Wasim today has abandoned from 1 week. Some bad guys send him abandoned for that TikTok program, abandoned him for 1 week.
Okay. Yeah.
So sorry for that.
Yeah. So one of the things that you guys will see, yeah, so he won't be able to join. Okay. So yeah, they are educated 100%. So listen,
Yeah.
just so that you all, you all understand, it is not, we have been sold propaganda that is just not accurate. And it's really important that we become well informed. You know what I need to do? I need to take some of because I have pictures and images and things from folks. And what I need to do is take some of those and write up the stories that go with them, so that people know. No, Jody. No. Yeah. Oh, no, they don't. No, they don't have that. Literacy rates in Palestine and Gaza for women are historically very, very high. No, they don't. And I think it's important that people know. So the original Hamas charter, the charter that they originally created back in 1988, I believe, has been outdated. It's outdated, and they made a new one in the 2000s that is different. And a lot of times, what you hear is you hear U.S. politicians still quoting things from 1988 and not using the most updated version of things, just so that everybody knows. But no, educating women does not go against Hamas. No, it does not. So I just want everybody to understand that. And the reason that the U.S. is even considering going to war with Iran, folks, is because Israel wants us to.
Yes.
And y'all just need to understand that. They want us to do the work for them.
Yes.
Yeah. And I am tired of that. I am tired of the U.S. doing the bidding of other people and unaliving and getting us into situations that we have no business being in. Right, Helen Wills. We better be worried about our own rights. Yes, real talk, y'all. This is why the midterms must be what they need to do. They have to be.
Now I share to Wasim. He maybe come now.
Okay.
And he very sad for that hell is abandoned for 1 week.
I know. I don't know if he'll be able to join. He can join my panel.
He is coming. He is coming now. He is coming,
Yeah. So for those of y'all who I know that you all will know Wasim. He has the best energy ever. So Wasim, what I learned about him a couple of days ago for the first time was that he almost died 3 separate times in this G-side. He lost one of his kidneys, part of his liver, and part of his stomach.
Yes.
Can you all imagine?
There's many injured and another in his leg and his hand. Another injured.
Yep.
Many injured in this war.
He never told me. Hussein had to tell me.
Yeah. See.
And they always, it boils down to money. That's the only thing that make them exactly, Chris. And so this is why I'm saying when people say, "What can we do?" He's sad.
Hello, Hussein. Hello, Red. Hello, Hussein. Hello, my friend.
Hi, Wasim.
Hello, Wasim. Wallah, Wasim very sad.
I know. Very sad. Yeah, he got banned on TikTok for 7 days.
7 days. 7 days, wallah.
I know. Yeah. Well, we can do it.
Very happy. Wasim very happy. Wasim very happy. Wasim friend Dani and Karella, wallah. Very happy. Alhamdulillah.
See,
very happy Sandy, wallah. Very happy.
So this is Raja. This is Wasim. For those of you guys over here. So the way that we help them, I see them, Raja. Yeah. So, but the thing is,
Dani?
yes, I know. I love their smiles too.
How are you? How are you, Mona? Wallah, Wasim, I love you, Mona. Wallah. Yes, I very miss you. I very miss you, Wallah.
No, miss you too, Wallah. Yeah, he is tough and resilient. Chris, I learned for the first time the other day that they literally were eating animal food at one point to stay alive during the G-side because Israel wasn't letting any food through. Yeah. Can you, I mean, I just want people to really understand. And it's crazy because every
It's
time you,
truly,
yeah,
it's truly we eat animal food in the war,
yeah,
and they mix with some water and something and eat it for it's used for animal.
yeah,
Can you believe it? A human eat animal food to
Right.
be alive.
just to live.
Yes, just to live. Yes.
Yeah. And I want y'all to understand that we are complicit. Our country
Yes.
is complicit. And this is why it's critical that we hold our elected officials accountable, right? This is the last year, because we have to make sure that we have a Democratic majority in the House and in the Senate. And then we have to ensure that they do right by the world, right?
Thank you, Ida.
Appreciate you,
And,
Ada.
Thank you, Ida. And how you can imagine, Danny, we don't have a medicine enough to treatment. For that, we try to have painkiller to reduce the pain.
Yeah,
But it's not enough to remove the main reasons for pain. We need to medical care. We need the surgery. We need
right.
true medicine. Yeah.
Yeah,
We don't have anything for medical.
right.
care.
Because they destroyed the hospitals.
All hospital destroyed, and all doctors also. Danny moved out Gaza. The professional doctors moved out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
والله Danny Wasim wish and والله wish and Sandy and Suzanne and Bullying and والله والله Wasim very happy. Thank you. والله يا Danny Wasim big very happy والله. Thank you.
Voila.
Thank you والله. I love you والله. I love you.
So
يا الله وسيم and Danny
we love Wasim.
طول العمر. Good Wasim. والله good Wasim. Wasim happy.
So Raja and Wasim don't know a lot of English. Yes, Wasim.
Eric, my friend Eric.
Yes.
كل واتساب شوي وسيم انجلش شوي اريك عربي.
Yes.
كيف حالك اريك؟ How are you وسيم؟
Yes.
Thank you. ما شاء الله. Thank you.
He learned Eric some Arabic and Eric learned
Good Wasim.
Yes. So one of our community, Eric, called Wasim on WhatsApp. And so as he was teaching him, that, how are you in English, and then how to ask Keep Halik. Keep Halik is how you say it in Arabic. And so, yeah, Keep Halik. Yeah, Keep Halik.
صباح الخير. Good morning. صباح الخير. Good morning.
Barhel.
Good morning.
صباح الخير. Good morning. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Wasim zero English. Goodbye.
Shway English. Shway Arabic. Danny Shway Arabic.
Excellent, Wasim. Very good, Wasim.
I love them. I do.
Wasim, 7 day, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 7 day banana.
I know.
Wasim coming every day. Danny coming.
Yes.
Okay, coming.
Yes. Yeah. You come every day.
زي ما بقول خشش بالخير. قلنا وسيم خشش بالخير.
He need your support, Danny, because
Right.
he have a band.
Right. Yeah. So for those of you guys who didn't hear that, so his live access has been bananaed for 7 days. So
Yes.
TikTok, for a lot of these folks, TikTok is the only means that they have of getting coins and being able to eat, right? And so if he can't go live for 7 days, he can't get support to take care of his family. And so he said, I'm going to come every day, and just like 1 to 2K in coins will help them get just like what they basically need for the day. So yeah, so that's what he's saying.
Especially we in Ramadan, we need to buy a food, we need to buy a water, medicine, anything, as you know.
Yeah. And this is Wasim's only way to get assistance. Yeah. So
And
we'll
another life, they refused to allow us to get our guest, Dani. They refused.
yeah.
That only you can allow us to get you and your guest.
Got it.
Yeah.
Hi, Habibi. Oh my God. Hi, baby. Mwah. Mwah. Oh my gosh.
His name, Guy.
He's 2 years old.
Guy. His name, Guy.
The guy, look, can you guys see the baby? I need to send the picture so that you guys can see the baby. Oh, I can't turn it. Yeah, I've got to show you. Right, Chris. That 2 children 1 year apart.
Thank you.
So what TikTok did to them also was TikTok can turn off the ability for you to send gifts. And so they did that to them so that people couldn't send them anything. Appreciate you, Colleen. And so remember back at the beginning of the broadcast when I played the clip for you of Bibi Netanyahu saying that the way that Israel needed to fight things was through social media. And remember when I told you that he said that that especially buying TikTok was super important? That is because TikTok has become the platform where a lot of information and the true stories about Palestine have been taking place. And so...
My name's Salva. Hello.
Hi, Salva.
My name's Salva.
Hi, Salva. Keep halak habibti.
Sleeping. The eating is not the eating full eating.
And then go to sleep. And then go to sleep. Yeah. She got her belly full and then she's going to sleep. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wasim's energy is just like it gushes all the time. He has great energy. They all do. I need to get into my WhatsApp. I've got 78 messages on WhatsApp. So I need to get in so that I can add some more links. What I want to do is so like
كده في مجال وسيم يحط صورة.
If he can post a picture, if you
yeah.
allow him to put
yeah.
a picture.
So because what I want to do is so like I have pictures of Mohammed OS and his little boy Osama and their new twins. I have some pictures of Raja. What I think would be great is for me to be able to take some of those pictures and like I know personal stories about everybody. And to be able to write up those personal stories and then include people's links so that people could be able to donate that way. It helps for people to be able to kind of humanize you and people know who you are and then also help you get support at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, he want to show you a photo when he was injured.
Okay.
Can he show you? Okay.
1 minute.
Okay.
Just
1 minute.
Yeah, you're welcome. I know it's difficult when I get to this part of the broadcast, and sometimes it just happens spontaneously. Oh, yeah. Let me see if I can.
That he was injured in the war.
Wow. Yeah, I saw the other day the one picture that he had when he was when he had the injuries and he was sewn up. I saw him show those. Yeah, I know, Mo. I know. He was worried about the algorithm. If you'll notice, when Abu Siraj first joined my panel, there were 400 people in this room, and now we're down to 250. So whenever I start to bring up Palestinian people, they will stop pushing my content out, so fewer people are coming in the room. That's what they do, which is just shitty and horrible, but you know, it's why it's important for people to share the live. Continue to comment in the chat, you guys. It's really important to keep commenting in the chat and things like that to help boost things up. So yeah, I'm glad you made it in too, Doug. What's up, Yuka? Eucalyptus just joined. MashaAllah.
Dani.
Yes. Yeah. That's what he does, Raja.
الله يسعدك شغال داني ابو تيم قول لها وسيم اعمل لك لينك اعمل رابط فصلها
Danny also send you a link.
Okay. Oh, he's got one too? Amazing.
Yes, me and he send you a link.
Okay.
Private message.
Awesome. Okay, I'll look. I need for Abu Malik to get a link.
What you need, Danny?
So Abu Malik is in the chat, and Abu Malik did, Mo, because he sent me an email, not a link. He sent me an email address. It wasn't a link. Abu Malik sent me an email address. He didn't send me a link. So
who
no, Abu Malik. Right there. I just brought him up.
Yeah. Abu Raji.
Abu Siraj, Abu Malik.
Abu Siraj.
Abu Malik. Under you, Hassin.
مين اللي كان طالب منه يعمل ومش واصلها اللينك تبعه؟
Appreciate that.
وسيم لما ينزل قولها يبعث لك اياها الخاص. مش عارف.
عملنا لينكات وبعثنا على الخاص.
So okay, thanks, Jody.
شكرا حبيبي شكرا هاي صديقتي داني داني شكري my brother from Canada شكري my brother
Okay.
From Canada.
Voila, love that.
Brother.
Yes, I love that. Good friend. So for those of you guys who are now in the room, and this is your first time meeting all of our friends, Abu Malik, the box that is at the bottom, it is, so he has several children, and one of the children that he has is significantly malnourished. He's 14 and weighs about 45 pounds, suffering from severe malnutrition. At the beginning of the year, at the beginning of January, he had suffered some severe fractures. All he's given me so far has been an email address, but I need him to have a link. He doesn't have a link right now. So anything that you can send to help him, and everybody needs help. Everybody does. Obviously, I just try to tell people stories as I know them, so that it helps a little bit. So yes, I see.
Shukri, 1 minute, Shukri. Speak Dani from Canada. 1 minute.
Okay.
1 minute. No support.
No, where is he?
Shukri can send a flower to Dani to recognize you. Shukri.
Yeah, he just needs to request up. I don't see him in the request.
Hey. He said hey.
Shukri. I see.
Shukri.
Yeah, I saw the name. There we go.
Yeah.
Hello, Shukri.
Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening for anyone.
Small
Hi,
brother,
Dani. How
small
are you?
brother.
I'm good. How are you, Shokri?
I am good. I am great. How was your day?
Oh, it's been really good. It's better now that I've seen my
Okay.
friends.
Okay, nice. Thanks for support, guys from Gaza.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we love our
I appreciate that.
yeah, we love our friends in
You're
Gaza.
nice. Like I was seeing my brother. He live in Gaza, but I left Gaza since 2 years ago because the war. I live in Canada.
Nice. How do you like Canada? Colder, right?
Yeah, I love Canada. It's safe and a nice place. I like the people here. The government nice. Support anyone to like be safe and get a job.
Yeah, that's lovely. I love that you are enjoying
Where
Canada.
are you live?
So I'm in the US.
U.S. Which state?
I don't tell people, not you. I'll tell you offline. It's not always safe to say what state you live in.
Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah, my government's a little crazy right now.
If I need anything, I am here to help anyone. Don't worry for anything.
Yeah, we're good. No.
Wasim no understand zero.
Understanding. But you know, like all my family speak English, but Wasim didn't speak. My father teacher English and my sisters.
My father teacher English very good. My father
Only
teacher English.
Only Wasim out of
And
English.
my sister very good teacher English. Wasim no.
Wasim not lucky in the life. Have like in the war, he got something inside the stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah, and surgery, and he have like some problem in the eyes and the hand. He like disability now.
Yeah, that's what appreciate you, Ferris. That is
Always I help him, but I cannot just me help my family. I help always anyone.
yeah, I that doesn't surprise me. Lots of you guys, I see the way that you all take care of each other. I literally have had
I don't need any support, please, for people from Gaza. I am good.
yeah, so I'm gonna rotate some folks out soon just to try to get some other people an opportunity to get
Okay,
up.
I will leave now. Thanks.
Yeah, no.
Nice to talk with you. I hope I see you like in real life.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I told him, so listen, when we get through all of this stuff, right? When we get through all of this stuff and Palestine is free, we're all gonna meet up in Gaza to rebuild Gaza together.
Guys, don't support me, please. Okay, I will leave now.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Shokri. It was good to meet you.
Yeah, bye. Thanks so much.
Bye, my brother. Bye. Dani, red hot.
Did you know, Eric asked Wasim, why you coughing all night yesterday? I told him he refused to take a honey with a tea.
You better take the honey with the tea. I told you it's good for you.
I told him many times. He refused to hear us.
Yeah, the honey. You guys tell him he was coughing all day yesterday. Tell him he needs to do the honey with the tea because it will help soothe his throat and he won't cough.
بقول لك لازم ترجع تشرب العسل بالشاي يا وسيم، حط عسل والشاي.
Salam ala shak shak.
Red hot.
السلام على داني. داني كيف حالك داني؟ How are you?
Yeah, Blue Nevada. I'm good. How are you? Alhamdulillah. So
Thank you a lot. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Now we can go and let another people to get up. Danny.
Okay, I got you, Hussein.
Down. Down.
Okay.
Thank you, Dani.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, my friends, sister.
And very thank you, Mona. Mona, thank you.
I will tell her.
And big hug.
Thank you, my friends. MashaAllah.
Big hug.
And people from Gaza, thank you.
I will tell her. So for those of you guys who are wondering, that was Wasim saying a big thank you to my mom, because the other day I went into his live and I got on his panel, and I called my mom on FaceTime on my granddaughter's phone, and hey, salam alaikum, Wadmi. And so my mom,
Can you call your mother now to see her and speak with her?
she not until one of the kids get home, because you guys are on my phone, so I don't have the other phone. I used Bella's phone. And so I had my mom on FaceTime. And so I showed my mom, Wasim and everybody. And so they were talking to her and she was talking to them. And then I just got her on TikTok, but she doesn't know how to do TikTok coins. And she was like,
Yeah, I saw her.
yeah, she said, I'm going to send you some money. So she sent me money so that I could do TikTok coins for, specifically for Wasim. So she sent me $50, y'all. And so I did the fighter jet one.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wasim was through the roof. He was like, oh, Wasim, very happy. He very, very happy. And yeah, like it was super cute. And amazing. She was like, okay, so next week I'm going to send you some more to give to everybody on his panel. So yeah, so that's why he was saying thank you to my mom.
I wish I can speak with her next time, inshallah.
Yeah, next time next time. I just don't have the other phone here to be able to help her do that, to have her like be on, because you guys are on my phone. Alaikum salam. Keep halak.
Alhamdulillah, I am fine. How are you today? Inshallah, bikhair, Dani.
Alhamdulillah, I am good, Noor. Good to see your smiling face.
Thank you. So, support la all wallah. Thank you.
Absolutely. You are more than welcome. You are more than welcome. Good to see you.
Layla.
Hi, Layla. Hi, Habibti.
My name is Layla.
She's so beautiful.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, Muhammad.
Hi, Dani. Great to see you.
Good to see you, Mo. Hey, you got the donation I sent via your link?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got it. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much.
Okay, good.
I was supposed to go to the market today and buy everything with my brother, but the weather is so windy and rainy.
Yeah.
Today is not a good day to go because it's gonna be expensive on Friday. Saturday, inshallah, everything is gonna be settled, so we should go on Saturday and distribute everything on Sunday, inshallah.
I love that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. So for those of you guys who are kind of wondering, yes, Valerie, that's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens, Valerie. So for those of you guys that are in TikTok, I want to share a little bit of story. So Noor is Palestinian Press. They are also in a tent. Allah Shak Shak is also, you can see he's got his press jacket on in the picture. He's the one that has the heart condition, and really needs to get out of Gaza for treatment. But they haven't been successful in getting him out yet. He also has a link that's in my link tree. And then Wadmi is our friend as well. She helps me out with translation, but she's a beautiful mom, and also needs support. She's got a little something happening with her throat as well. And then Mo is Mo is our friend who graduated from school during the G-side, did incredibly well. And so right now what he's doing during Ramadan is he exceeded his goal. His original goal was to do like 30 families or 32 families to get them a Ramadan basket. And he's actually exceeded that goal already. And so they're continuing to help people that are around him. Yet it was 90.3%. Hush, Mo. I always say like 93%.
I know you didn't get it.
No, it's 90. Yeah, he graduated with 90.3%. And so they are helping other families in Gaza that don't have the means to get their Ramadan basket, to be able to get those things. And so that's this is the one thing that you will see is the same way that you saw Hussein say to me, you can take us down so other people have a chance to come up and get help. That is something very common. I'll see people and they'll hit 2 or 3K in coins and say, "Hey, take me down so somebody else can come up," and things like that. And I'm just really, it's incredible to see how giving and how kind and yeah, the least of what they have, they still share and look out for each other. And it's a really incredible thing. I will tell you this. I know that it's not like I've met every Palestinian that exists. Of course I haven't, right? But what I will say to you is that every Palestinian that I have met has that kind of heart and it has that kind of I don't even know how to say it. Like, it's just absolutely incredible. Yeah, they really are. They're just amazing. Even Abu Malik, it wasn't him that told me about his kiddo at first. Somebody else told me. And then the only time he's even ever reached out to me was when the 14-year-old got some fractures. And so, of course, needs medical treatment and needs medicine. Bilal is the same way. Bilal lost 40 pounds. And still never asked me for anything. And I saw him one day, like more than just his head. And I was like, "Hey, you've lost weight." You know what I mean? The only time he reached out to me to ask for anything was because his wife needed medication and physical therapy. And his salary as a journalist in Palestine wasn't enough to cover it. So we all kind of collectively fundraised together to help them out. Yeah, and they love and support us, even though our country is shitty. Even though our country does horrible by them. Yeah. So Noor is showing you the outside of the building. They literally.
أنا بسكن فيه صراحة حاليا. هذا البيت اللي أنا بسكن فيه، بس محمد إذا بترجم لها بعد إذنك. ماشي خليك تفضل. شو حكيت يا نور؟ فكرتك بدك تحكي. البيت اللي أنا بسكن فيه يعني مش عارف إذا بترجم لها، هو أساسا يعني بيت قايل للسقوط يعني أنا جالس فيه صراحة وخايف، لكن يعني بعد ما تم هدم بيتي في منطقة الزيتون، هذا البيت اللي أنا بسكن فيه حاليا. كتير يعني من الأصدقاء والأحباب. في الحواصل قاعد؟ في الحواصل الشق اللي يعني اللي على إيدك اليمين.
Talking and then he'll translate.
He lost his home. Mm-hmm. His home got bombed. He lost a place where he used to be in, and now he's in a storage room of a destroyed building, and the level of that building is literally on top of him, on top of the roof. So it's actually aiming to fall down the whole building, and they have no other choice but to stay in there. So yeah, it's a storage room basically.
Yeah. So this is the thing that's really important for people to know. So a lot of times, like Noor, they are in a building that is basically, it's been boomed, right? And so there's rubble and everything above them. And so they are in Blue Nevada, you are all good. Appreciate you. And so they're in a storage room, but they are underneath all of that rubble on top. And so there's always a concern about rubble collapsing in on top of people, but that's oftentimes the only place that they have to be. Like, there's no other choice about where to go and where to be. You have to have some sort of place. And I've actually seen children that are in the middle, like with half the roof kind of hanging down, and they're sitting there studying schoolwork. It's absolutely astounding. And it's crazy, but this is how people are living. And I don't think that enough people know. And one of the things that really angers me is, in my humble opinion, the reason there was this fake ass ceasefire is because it was simply to get mainstream media to stop talking about Gaza. Because if you remember back in September, October, things were really heating up. Everybody, every media outlet in the country was talking about Gaza, and they were talking about all of the children. And Raja's making me laugh. He sent me a message and he was saying thank you and all that. And then he said, I'm so happy, like Hasim, ha ha, like Wasim. Yeah, we love you all very much, Raja. And so he was making me laugh. But it's just it's just to take the attention off the people. And I think it's so wrong. There is no ceasefire when, 500, 600 people are still being unalived since that time. That's not a ceasefire, That's not a ceasefire. And people need to know that, our media is complicit right now. And we have to do something about that. And people, like, when you ask me what can we do, it's real simple, right? We have got to stay on our elected officials. We have to stay on the media. We have to stay on all of those people. So one of the things that you all could do is you can write letters to the editor. You hear me? You can write letters to the editor, and talk about our experiences on TikTok when we meet the folks in these families, when we see their kiddos and their children and all of those types of things, the conditions that they have, not being able to get out of the country when they need medication and when they need surgeries, and all of those things. That's how you can help. Putting up social media posts. You heard Bibi Netanyahu said the biggest weapon right now is social media. And so if we continue to talk about it all the time and we continue to highlight it, it will force people to pay attention. It did once and we have to do it again, right? It has to happen. That's the only way. That's the only way that things will improve and that things will change. And they have to improve. They have to change. We can't stay this way. I personally believe, I have said this in this country. I've said that the United States of America will never be all that she can be until we do right, first by Native Americans, and second by Black Americans, right? I firmly believe that, with everything in me, because you cannot bloom and grow from bad soil. And the reality is that this country was created by G-side, by robbery and theft and all of those things, right? That is how we were formed and created. And so, yeah, perfect timing, sis. And so until we do right by those people, and the way that I feel about the whole world is that until Palestine is liberated, until Palestine is free, the whole world will continue to reap what it has sown, because the whole world has turned their back on Gaza, the whole world, right? And so it's going to be necessary for the whole world to right, exactly, Tammy. So Tammy is Native American. She's over on Facebook watching. And hey guys, I remember Abu Sami Gaza, and it was from a while ago, and I don't know if that's his real profile or if it is someone impersonating him. I don't know if there's anybody in any of my moderators that can double check and make sure that that's the real profile in Gaza. and that it's not someone else. If you could, that would be amazing. Because I was
He has a level 1 in your heart, me, in your orange heart. So I don't think it's him, but we can't make sure. We can't be sure yet.
See, I see that too. I see that too. Good spotting, Mo.
But I know the real Abu Sami. He was opening his camera today on another panel.
Okay, see, and that's what I was saying. That's why, and I hate the fact that people make fake accounts, but they do. And so because of that, I have to just be careful. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, someone faked my account.
I
the day
heard.
before yesterday, and he's still going out there. Yeah, and he's giving me a bad headache going here and there. And it's so bad.
See, you can't fake you with me because you're my friend on here. So because I followed you back and we're friends on here, then he can't. He like I would know immediately because we're not friends. So I would know immediately.
He also has a different username, different reposts. He has no post. He has only 470 followers. He's a kid, actually. I've heard his voice from my other undercover account, which I have for trolling. Anyways, I've heard his voice. He's a kid.
Yeah, they did do it to Amal also.
So.
How are you, Sister Dani?
Alaikum salam. I'm good, sis. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, fine, sister. I hope you are well. Your life as our family, wallah. When I join with you and with your friends, I feel that I join with my family.
Yeah.
That's what I feel about you and all your friends.
That is the way that we feel about you all. That is absolutely the way we feel about you all. I met her on Wasim's live. And then she's come over here and been with us over here. And so, the first time I met, we had such a good time on that live, didn't we? I was cooking and it was a really good time. So yeah, it feels like family. And so Ethan, here's the thing. What's happening in the West Bank has been happening this entire time. And that's the thing that people don't really understand is that it's two different things. So Gaza, they are literally trying to do a G-side and just level, right? On the other side, on the West Bank, they are literally forcing Palestinians out of their home. They are tearing up their olive crops, all of those different things, and even unaliving them in order to take their homes. And they're creating these settlements with big barriers around them. And people don't realize that people are being unalived in the West Bank just as much. It's a little bit different, but yeah, it's many sieges, and the IDF is actually helping. So when you see Israeli illegal settlers that are coming in to take the homes in the West Bank, you will sometimes see them being actually protected by the IDF. It's absolutely just astounding. But yeah, it's also happening over there. So I know that we are probably getting to the point where we're maybe getting low on coins. As long as I can get everybody that's not my Jen, Yaya, Red, and Witch are all in the US, so you don't have to worry about them. But if I can get the final box that's up here to 2K, that would be great. The box beside Mo. Which I know you're not apologizing for anything. You know better than that. We don't apologize. Listen, we do the best we can, and we trust the universe to take care of everything else, and fill in the gap. And we give with our heart when we can't give with our bank account. That's what we do. We give with our heart when we can't give with our bank account. So
that is sort of Abu Sami is saying that he's the real one. He can open camera. Just saying.
Okay. So Mo, can you let him know that I think damn, I lost her. It's probably her internet. Can you let him know that if he can come back tomorrow, I'll bring him up at the very beginning when I open the panel, because I have people that get paid tomorrow that are saying if we open the panel tomorrow, they'll be able to help. So if you can just let him know to come tomorrow.
Okay, I just told him that.
Okay,
Inshallah.
awesome. Perfect. Appreciate you. Did she come back? Because okay, there she is. There she is. Yeah, the internet I think the internet dropped her.
Yes, sister. My internet dropped me as always. I have a weak connection of internet.
Yeah, that's
Thank you,
okay.
Allah, for the gifter.
Yeah, no problem. I don't know Motu. I don't know Iman. I don't know them. And I don't know if there's anybody in here today that can verify. Hopefully tomorrow, folks, I will have. Do you know them?
Sammy.
Just sorry to interrupt. If you're asking about verification, Iman is actually my other sister, and Anas is my brother. But it's okay, you can verify them.
Okay, no. As long as you know Iman, because I don't be knowing. With this new name, I need people to let me know.
Absolutely, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. I
Yeah.
understand.
So tell Iman can come tomorrow too. And that way we'll open up the panel again. And we'll do it tomorrow. So I know Sammy was with me. Did I open yesterday or the day before?
The day before.
Day before, yes. I had Sammy on the day before, so I'll get her tomorrow as well. I'll get Sammy tomorrow as well. That way, right? Which appreciate you, Scotty. Thank you, Scotty ABC, for taking care of her. I appreciate that.
Sister, appreciated. Wallah, you're standing that with us. Do you know, sister, I want to share with you some sad feeling I have because maybe I am very frustrated this time. And I have a lot of coins from the last time I joined with you. I haven't a lot of coins, and I depend on this coins or in this application in my income. As I told you, I haven't any link. I'm always trying for my children, but the 2 days ago I haven't anything. So maybe I feel some sad, but when I join with you and I get this chance to get guest with you, it's feeling me very happy, wallah, sister. So I tell you, when I guest join with you, this is the place as my family, wallahi. I can to get the place here, not like another place.
Her internet got bad for a second. Yeah, so for some of them, this is their only means. This is their only means to eat and to take care of their families, y'all. So I appreciate everybody that is gifting and making sure that everybody is okay. Listen, I'm about to wrap up over here, guys. We got to almost everything on here except for the Clinton's testimony. And we can do that tomorrow because Hillary testified today. Bill is testifying tomorrow. So we can kick off tomorrow with that. How does that sound, you guys? Good? Okay. I appreciate you guys that are over there on Facebook, on Substack, and on YouTube. All right. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.